to Asylum Radio with your host, Annabelle Mendoza.
Welcome to Asylum Radio. What's going on, Ginn?
What's good, brother?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I am honored.
No problem.
When you slid into my DMs, I was like, oh, finally, I qualify.
Usually when I slide into people's DMs, it's for another reason, but yes. So how was that drive?
It was chill. Usually, like, when it comes to long drives, I don't have any problems or qualms with them because I'm used to long distance driving all the time.
Gotcha.
Like 2-3 hour drives are still nothing to me.
So let's introduce you to the viewers. You're a lot of things. You're a man of many skills. Yeah. But first and foremost, to me, you're a nerd.
Yes.
That's why you qualify for this podcast.
Yes.
But it's the adjacent skills that also qualify you for this podcast. So you are an entrepreneur. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I didn't even know that it was considered an entrepreneur when I was younger. I just
Really?
did things for as long as I remembered until finally one day, like, I think it was during the early wave of like social media gurus coming out and like labeling the hustle life.
Oh, really?
And like doing business.
That's when it clicked
stuff
for
or
you?
making money is like entrepreneurship.
Uh-huh.
That's when I realized, like, oh, I guess I've been an entrepreneur this whole time.
That's funny. A lot of people try to be an entrepreneur and you just were one and you didn't even know. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's kind of gotta be like, you just gotta have always been doing it.
Yeah. So what got you started? Like, what was your first like business venture?
So, I would say when I was in high school would be when I originally started doing some sort of like hustle type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in high school, this was pre-2007 because I'm class of 07. Woo woo. So,
Oh, wait.
Oh shit, so you're just not too far behind. So when I was in high school, that was when computers started becoming really prevalent in our educational system. And during my high school career, I was like a hella slacker.
Me too, bro.
Like, I'm not that kind of Asian. Like, I was the kind where like if people in my math class around me thought that I was gonna help them pass by copying off me, they're all failing.
Oh no. Oh no. So there was like a ring of failure around you. They're like, oh, we're sitting next to the Asian person. We got this.
No. That's where they womped up. So I got super into computers, transitioning from like gaming. And we started like my brother and I, we started doing like PC gaming and everything. And I built my first computer when I was like in 11th grade.
And were you selling these computers to people, or were you building them for like?
I just built it for myself, and during that time, like, I guess like even during middle school, I fucked up a lot when it came to using computers because like back then
on
internet,
Windows,
the internet
7?
was like, no, not even Windows 7. That was like still like
Windows
like
5,
2000, Windows 2000
Oh my
coming to
God.
like Windows XP.
Jesus.
So like back then, the internet, as you probably recall, like it's the Wild West. Anything goes. Like what was considered dark web now was just the internet.
Yeah.
We didn't have Google. Like it was just like you got to find shit. So I messed up computers a lot because of that. Because you go to websites that aren't always.
So let me guess, you downloaded LimeWire.
LimeWire, BearShare.
Oh no! So you
Kazaa.
gave your computer AIDS.
Yes, plenty of AIDS.
Oh, no.
And then I had to learn to cure the AIDS.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so because of that, I got super into computers, and I guess I became a computer technician during that period. And that was when like 99% of the people were completely ignorant
of
to how
computer
computers
technology
work and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so with that base knowledge, I started being able to get into like side hustling computer servicing. And people, like, the word got out that like I knew how to fix computers and stuff. And so that's what I was like charging people to do. And most of the time.
So did you end up getting your, what is it, the A plus or C plus?
No.
You didn't get that far?
I failed that shit.
You didn't get that far?
Because I thought it was all computer knowledge, but half the test was printer knowledge.
Oh no.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on the printer portion.
Yeah, that's always a
I didn't know any
curveball.
of that stuff, and that's where like
I feel like that should be a different cert.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
It should have been a different cert for sure.
Let's be honest. It needs to be a different certification. I don't know why they're like, oh yeah, technicians, you guys need to know what RAM is. Oh, and by the way, this is a Canon cartridge and this is an Epson.
Yeah. Like they were asking me super technical laser printer questions, and
yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know jack about printers.
And that was 50% of the test.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
So what?
Who cares? I was still making money. Clients don't give a shit if you're certified. They just need to know that you can like remove their viruses or plug in a monitor.
So once you started doing that little side hustle, what did you do after that? Did you immediately like start getting into what you're doing now, or was there another stepping stone?
Well, what I did was first that was like my starting phase was I was getting into that. And then I would say because of that, I always stuck with like the tech background. That was like kind of if we were talking about like gamer lingo, that was like my spec tree. I spec'd mainly into tech related stuff.
Gotcha.
And so and that transition to like whatever direction of new technology was coming out, I continued to develop knowledge and skill sets within those, excluding programming. I couldn't get into programming just because like, I can't stare at a screen full of numbers like all day, every day. I tried that.
I've had people explain to me Python, and they're like, it's so much easier than what it used to be. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is not even, this makes no sense to me. But I get what you mean. Programming is definitely different than like hardware support. Hardware support's a little bit easier. It's like a giant electrical Lego that you got to put together versus like
it's just matching shapes and colors.
Yes. And most of it's labeled. Let's be honest. Most of it's labeled. If you know what like most of the components are, you can kind of figure out where they're supposed to go. But most people don't even bother to learn the components.
No, they don't. They don't know like, oh, if this is in, that means data is going in, and this is out, that means data is coming
out.
So
yeah.
It's all
most people don't
sense,
know, man.
Most people apparently have rare sense.
Most people don't have no sense nowadays. Yeah. So once you started doing your side hustle, doing the computer stuff, what got you into filmmaking and like doing the stuff that I actually bumped into you doing?
Oh, okay.
Was there an in-between?
The in-between was because after I graduated high school, I literally got the job at the high school I graduated from.
Oh, really?
As a technician.
Was that weird?
No.
You sure?
No, it wasn't weird. It was just like I just didn't graduate for like 2 years after I graduated.
That must have been so weird.
I mean, it was dope because you're like 18, you come in and you're staff. Like the weird part was the entire time I was there, most of the security, it took them a long ass time to start learning who I was. And
so you get stopped every day?
All the time walking around. You're like, hey, where's your hall pass? Where's your hall pass? Like, bro, I'm going to this classroom to fix their computer. I work here.
No, you don't. You're just trying to get our math class.
Bust out my staff pass. Yeah, that's right. Leave me alone.
And then you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, but during that time, so when I was in high school, I wasn't just also like super into computers. Like these were like the skill sets that I was developing while I was in high school. So I did computers, graphic design, and drafting / architecture, and animation. And yeah, those are like my main focuses. Like I slacked in every other class. Like I just did the bare minimum to graduate and pass the class. But all those other classes, I like poured in as much time as possible into. Yeah,
everywhere.
Like I would like skip classes or figure out excuses to keep going to those classes, and so during that whole time, like the animation program was also in I went to Cleveland High School. So at that high school, they have a media academy. It was like the first media program at high school level ever created in general.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So we had like cameras, editing software, computers, like a ton of
at this
cool
time.
Stuff.
What editing technology did they have? Because
Final Cut.
Was it Final
It
Cut?
was Final Cut. Yeah, we had Final
dang.
Cut. Yeah, we had Final Cut, and I was like one of the most advanced students in the animation class. So my teacher convinced because I was cool with the counselor too. I'm still cool with the counselor, by the way. Like my counselor, we're still friends. And
What's
we
up,
still
counselor?
talk. Yeah, like she went to my brother's wedding.
Oh,
And,
dang.
so,
you guys are cool.
Yeah. she was amazing. Like most people had like their small learning community classes, but then like I could literally pick whatever classes I wanted, and she let it happen, and yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. My counselor was not that cool. What the hell? My counselor was like, you're failing and you're a dumbass. We're going to give you like 6 extra classes after school, and I never want to see your ass again after you graduate.
Well, the good thing was her office was in the Meat Academy, so she knew who I was because I was one of the advanced students. And but yeah, so like my teacher convinced the Meat Academy to set aside a budget to buy like one of the best Mac Pro. What did they call them back then? It was like the silver towers.
I have no idea.
Like the top of the line Mac towers.
Mac Pro.
Then, just because I was like messing around with Maya, which is like a 3D animation software.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah,
Tell me, what is that?
Maya is probably one of the, I don't know if it still is, but back then it was like the most advanced 3D animation software for.
So it was like Blender.
Yeah, it's what
What it became.
Yeah. Because Blender made it a lot easier. Yeah, because Maya back in the day was like super hard to do, but like I was like, we acquired the software through my online means.
What was this? What was this called? Oh, you mean pirating?
Yes.
You mean LimeWire?
And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was messing with it and got super into it. So that like my teacher actually got that computer specifically for me to use. And so while the whole class was doing other stuff, I did my own projects, which was like making 3D models and just doing a bunch of like testing and learning how to use the software.
So how long were you doing that?
That was like my entire high school, or from like 10th grade up.
And did they give you like a certification? Because I'm assuming it was like a cert class, no?
No. It was just an elective.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Media Academy was just a bunch of electives. So they had film and animation. And so there was no certification. It was just like, I guess.
See, that would have been nice though.
Yeah, it would have been. But what I learned, like those types of classes, like there's the students that are just in it because the counselors dumped them in there. But then there's students that like took advantage of that class and really like went above and beyond. And that's there's like a few like what we consider like the advanced students that like went way above and beyond, and then the teachers started creating like separate curriculums and let them do their own projects. At that point.
That's dope.
Yeah, because with vocational programs like that, you kind of have to let the students that are willing to go above and beyond to like give them the freedom to go above and beyond.
Man, your high school was dope as fuck. My high school was nothing like that. My high school was like, if you got lucky if you got into an elective, and if you got into an elective, the teachers were halfway in and out of the class anyways. It was so garbage.
No, I after seeing my youngest brother go through high school, I realized like my brother and I were really blessed to go to Cleveland because
I have no idea what high school is like nowadays. Nowadays, I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's better. But the advent of social media, I don't know. I that would be a toss up. So after you did your whole high school stuff and you did animation, all that fun stuff, is that question? Did anime get you into animation? Is that yes. What happened? Yeah, you were how did this happen?
Anime and video games.
You're like, I want to know how to do this amazing shit.
I was like the guy that like started the gaming club in high school.
So you were doing the LAN parties?
Yeah.
Oh, what were you guys playing?
Halo.
Yes. That's dope.
We're undefeated Halo players.
my very first LAN party was actually at my middle school playing Quake 2. That shit was so much fun. I remember finding out through a friend. I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing coming in like an hour early to like school? Why would you even bother? They're like, oh, we're going to go play video games. I was like, video games where? At this class, you just got to show up at the portable and then sign in. I was like, what the fuck? I go and I asked my mom to drop me off an hour early. She was super surprised. She's like, what the fuck? Why do you want to go to like, are you actually going to school? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to school. What are you talking about? Why do you want to go early? I was like, I don't know, because there's something I want to check out. I knock on this door, and then this little fat kid who was about the same size as me opens the door. He's like, are you here for Quake? I was like, yes. They walked
all like secretive and stuff.
Yeah, it was like very cloak and dagger. They didn't want to let everybody know because there was only like maybe like 6 PCs that actually could run it. And then there was only 6 PCs. So there was like, okay, whoever doesn't show up, maybe you might get a PC, you might not. It was fun though. But if you guys were playing Halo, man, I would have loved to see that. We had to go to my friend's house to play Halo, not to school.
Dude, like 3 of my friends had Xboxes, and back then with LAN parties with Xboxes, you can run like 4 screens.
Yeah.
Or 4 splits. So we were
broke
like
children though.
hardcore. But yeah, like you know what? That like bringing that up, since you mentioned like how having an activity like that at school was your driving force to convince you to come into school early.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like while I was going through school, I realized like if the school actually had activities and things that students were
wanting to do,
then they had no reason to ditch, and they would actually be more motivated to come to class or come to school more. Yeah, and
I can see that.
And so that's like, you know, on the side, I've been qualming about educational problems and, and how to improve it. But like that's one of the things that, like for example, with me, like my film and animation class is what drove me to, or my drafting class too, what drove me to come to school I had perfect attendance.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, the entire time I was in high school, I
did not.
I had perfect attendance, even though I was a slacker.
They're like, why are you here?
Like I had so much credits that by the time, because I did summer school too, every year. By the time I was in my senior year, I only needed 2 classes to graduate.
Oh, so you were leaving early.
I could.
Oh, you were staying the whole day?
Normally, you would only need a minimum of 4 educational classes in your senior year, and you can leave like after 2 classes. My counselor literally was like, "You have so much credits, you could just do your 2 classes and leave."
That's fucking dope.
But instead, I doubled down on my animation and my drafting class, so I took two periods of each of those.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
So what'd you end up doing after that? So you did all your drafting animation, and clearly anime got you into it. So let's backtrack real quick. So what anime was like, or what game hit you that was like, okay, this is amazing. How did this happen?
Halo.
Was it Halo?
It was Halo.
It was the Master Chief?
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm in.
Halo Spartan 6 is your name. You can find me.
Dude, I am not a huge gamer, but I'm always in a situation where I don't have enough time to finish a game. I'll start something and then halfway through. So, but I do know that everybody who's been a gamer has like the one thing that sparked them to be an addict for gaming.
Yeah.
And Halo was yours.
Yes.
So once you were like, okay, I need to get into this, you decided to take your drafting classes, you took your animation classes, and then did you follow up after high school?
Yeah, so when I graduated, I actually went to Art Institute.
For
game art and design.
Oh,
worst idea ever.
Yeah, I have a quick story about that. Okay, so I wanted to be an architect because one of the only talents that I was born with was art. I can draw extremely well. I was a slacker too. I'm a dumbass. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. That's why I run a podcast. What's up, guys? So I wanted to be an architect. I told my parents, I'm like, hey, support me going to this architectural pathway. They're like, sure, that sounds like a reasonable idea. And I was like, cool. So how do I do this? So they're like, I talked to my counselor. My counselor is like, hey, go to the Art Institute. They're perfect for you.
No.
I was like, okay, sure. Let's go check it out. So I went to community college my first year, and I was like, all right, I'll knock out my prerequisites and transfer to this trade school and then get my little art stuff going. I go and meet the counselor, and this counselor basically tried to guilt trip me into going to their school. It was so bad. And I'm kind of an asshole.
You know it's a bad school.
I'm kind of an asshole. So usually when people talk shit to me, nowadays I don't have any of it. So the first thing he did was like, he's like, you're a Latin American, right? I was like, yeah, I'm Mexican. Why? He goes, well, it's sad to say, but minority children tend to fall into crime. And I'm like, all right, cool. What does this have to do with architecture? And he was like, well, I'm just letting you know you're making a great choice by enrolling in our school. And that was his opening line. I was like, hold on. So you're telling, okay, cool. That's fine, I guess. So what would I need to take to, get like, what is it? A master's in architecture? Or they're like, no, well, you have to take A, B, and C to get your architecture degree or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So how much is it going to be? They're like, it's about $50,000 a semester. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what? Why? Why is this $50,000 a semester? They're like, well, you know, architecture isn't such a big field and we specialize in it. And, you know, you could try going somewhere else like Cal Poly.
Like teachers that work in the field.
Yeah.
Have job guarantee.
Oh, man. They tried buttering me up so much. And I was like, man, this sounds so fishy. I was like, wait a second. I'm like, at my community college, I have friends who are taking like master classes in psychology and they're paying like less than $10,000. Well, that's them. They're clearly not going to go anywhere. I'm like, but they're going to get a master's in psychology. And they're like, yeah, but, and the more I asked questions, the more his like strategy started to fall apart. So he just fell back on guilt tripping me. He's like, if you leave here now, you will never amount to anything. I was like,
what?
I was like, what?
What?
I was like, bro, I was like, I said, I'll think about it. He goes, all right, I'm not sure I can book you in. There's a lot of students who want to get into the art institute.
Salesman.
I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, are you like, were you a car salesman before this? Like, what the fuck's going on? So I left with such a sour taste in my mouth. I was like, I am never going back to the school ever again. And then the school went bankrupt.
Yeah. Yeah, it went bankrupt. Like I can't even go back and finish my credits. It's not non-transferable credits.
No, see, that was another thing I wanted to ask too. I was like, hey man, like let's say I want to go to like Cal Poly or UCLA or whatever, maybe join their stuff. Like, can I do that? They're like, no.
Yeah,
they don't recognize us as a school. I was like, what? I was like, so why am I paying you $50,000 for?
Like my reason for going there was because I thought they were a great art school. And the fact that the campus I was going to was right next to Activision.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I can just like while going to school here, like really learn and then get into Activision right away and start like developing games. But halfway through, or not even halfway, like a year and a half in, I like did the math. And that was like, I guess, one of those like entrepreneurship when you're like
wait a second.
Like education is an investment in oneself. What is the ROI of this investment? I looked at what I would be making once I graduated.
Oh, you did the math.
I would be paying off this debt for a very long time.
How long? How much was it?
In total, it would have probably been around 140,000 after interest and all that.
That's way too much.
Yeah, exactly. and like and at that time, apparently. Like in one of my classes, my teacher straight up told me, like, if you're not a god level artist, you're the type of modeling that you're doing is being outsourced to like Korea and like China now. So yeah, you're competing with that. And like when I was graduating, like game art was in demand because that was when the game industry started booming. Right. And so like when I heard that, I did the math. I looked up how much an average artist was making, like 30,000, 35K a year. Yeah. You know,
you're like, wait, I'm taking out $150,000 worth of debt to make $35,000 a year. What?
Right. So dropped out.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes those numbers are really bad. Like my friend who got a psychology degree, sorry to say, but she's working at Starbucks.
Yeah, no, that's the thing where like, I wish high school counselors knew to tell the students
to look in their field.
Not just look in the field, but like understand that like whatever field you're moving into that you're studying, that's a self-investment. Right. So there needs to be an ROI for that investment.
And for people who don't know what ROI is return on investment.
Yeah. So if there's next to no return on investment or ROI, then like that investment is a bad investment. Yeah. And that's how you have to look at it.
That interest is what really killed a lot of people.
And it's a debt you can't file bankruptcy for. So bad. It apparently now it can be moved to your next of kin if you die.
You're lying. Get out of the way.
It's a debt that can never go away.
That's scary as fuck. Yeah.
And good thing I dropped out when I did. I only went 20K into the hole. But I'm still riding on that debt today.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. That's crazy. See, you're not the only person I've heard that from like people who went to college, who sadly changed majors in between, went to a trade school like ITT Tech, the Art Institute. A lot of these small trade schools. Not that trade schools are bad. There's a lot of them that are good, but there's a lot of them that are just run as a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Like get in as many people as you can into a trade that is oversaturated. Like a good one is the nursing industry, right?
But nursing is always in demand.
Well, kind of. So a lot of people don't understand that there's different levels to nursing. So they'll go like, oh, they'll sell you like, oh, you're getting into the nursing industry. You're getting into the nursing industry. Oh, by the way, you're going to start off with billing and then you'll work your way up. And you're like, okay, cool. So you take these useless classes in medical billing and then you find out that has nothing to do with your nursing career at all. And then you just spent like 2 semesters and $50,000 in debt. And then you talk to your counselor and the counselor's like, hey, you should have said something sooner. Right? Oh, really? Me? Me? Okay.
I'm still a student. I don't know what life is.
But that it's so bad. And it's not just you that I've heard this from. I've heard this from countless people who didn't look into their field, but it's kind of something that they were interested in.
Yeah.
And they're still paying off like thousands and thousands of dollars of debt. And it's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my goal for paying that off is when I finally hit 100K, I just do like one payment. But
and
until then, like
slap them
that's
with
my
the Benjamins.
reminder that I dropped the ball.
Well, I guess, yeah. Setting those self goals are always good.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that though. They kind of go, well, I'll just let it go into collections. Oh,
you can't.
You can't. Well, kind of. I don't know, man. So maybe school loans are different, right?
School loans are different. 100% different. Because
I know. So I recently found out that how collections work. So I found out how once your debt goes into collection, it's not actually the people you took the loan out from that are trying to collect.
It's a collection company.
It's a collection agency that's calling you, and they want your money because they bought the debt.
Yeah,
and they bought it
at $1.
Oh man, when I found that out, I felt so dirty. I was like, wait, so you're telling me there's a whole industry that's out there buying debt and bugging everybody and their mom to get money, and they spent like $1,000 on your $10,000. Like it's so crazy. Like, do you know anything about that?
Hell yeah, I do.
Tell me what you know.
Okay, so I also
is this also one of the Ginn side hustles?
No, this was because like a while back when I was in one of my relationships, I helped my ex buy a car.
Okay.
And I put it under my name and everything because I had better credit than her.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah, sounds fair.
And so after we split, she had issues maintaining the payments and stuff. So I had to take the car back.
So you repossessed
I couldn't handle. No, she didn't want it at all. So she's like, "It's yours. It's
What'd
your
you guys get?
It was like a Rogue. Like that was the year the Rogue first came out.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like around $18,000 like for a car. That's a hella cheap car. And so after the car got repossessed,
oh no,
I was in debt like 18
G's.
No, thank God.
Oh, so it wasn't that soon?
It was like around 11.
Ooh, that's
it was like around 11 G's. And so that was when I start like I actually didn't even really like learn that much about the whole like system back then. It was just through sheer accident of me just ignoring their calls long enough that like I think finally I decided to take the call and they were willing to negotiate my debt.
Right. That's always the move. They want to just get you on the phone.
Yeah.
And then they got you. And
so I learned that apparently if stuff's in collection, you don't have to worry about ever paying that full balance.
No.
You can negotiate it down to like 20% of the original debt.
I've heard even less.
Yeah, even less. Because they just want like, they got it for pennies to the dollar. So they'll take anything.
I've heard it could be as low as like 1/8 as long as they make profit on what they spent. So one of my last guests, she was talking about how on her credit, an entire car disappeared. And I told her, I'm like, it's completely possible that there was a wealthy man who is in this business and he just needed a tax break. And he was like, I'll just take this 10G hit off of this loan, even though I spent $1,000 on it and just write it off on their taxes. And I was like, it's completely possible. Maybe that's what happened.
Well, did she, because I know that if you don't pick the phone up ever and respond to them, there's a statute of limitation
Mhm.
in California.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, every state has different statute of limitation of
Oh,
how long
shit.
the collection company
I'm assuming
can come
California's
after
really
you.
long.
Yeah, I think California is like 5 years or something like that.
Jesus.
So if you literally ignore them and don't even like pick up the phone and ever say yes, I am, never
Right.
ever respond to them,
Uh-huh.
then that
They'll
thing
just
would
disappear.
It'll just disappear.
That's amazing. But
Yeah.
see, your credit still takes a hit, but that
it takes
debt,
a hit, but
that
like
shit's gone.
yeah, you don't have to, because either way, once it hits collection, you're gonna take the hit.
See, ladies
So
and
might
gentlemen,
as well just ignore it.
if you guys got stuff in collections, just ignore it. Unless it's school loans, then you're fucked.
Yes. Yes.
I can't believe that's still a whole industry, man. That's so bananas. So basically you guys basically just ignored them and they just left you guys alone?
For the car? No, because I didn't know that you could do that back then.
So they got you for some.
I made the mistake of taking the call in the beginning, but like I kept saying I can't pay it. Like 3 months later, finally they're like, all right, we'll make you an offer. and I was like, whoa, what's the offer?
Well, what's the offer?
Like, can you at least pay this much?
Yeah.
Not really. All right, how about this much? Still can't. I just got rifted like around 2010. There's like all those budget cuts and everything. So I got rifted from my job at LAUSD.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't got work. I'm a college
A lot of
student.
people couldn't even get McDonald's work back in the day.
Yeah, so
But they were just there. They were like, we want at least $5,000. And you're like, maybe.
I think it was like 3,000 that they were willing.
Oh,
to take.
that's not bad.
Yeah, 3,000, and then they did 2 payments. So I was like, done.
See, what I heard is if you're really clever about it, you can buy your own debt. That's bananas, right? If you get the license and you do the whole certification, whatever you need to, if you have anything in collections, you can buy your own debt as long as you're under a company name versus your own name. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, that's a good possibility because I don't know if you've ever heard the stereotypes, but like the Armenians,
no,
they know.
Tell me.
They know how to.
I love stereotypes. Tell me. Yes, tell me more.
Like mess with credit. Like they're kings of like fudging credits.
Tell me how. What? All the secrets,
like,
Ginn. Tell me.
From what I can like, they always drive nice ass cars.
Of course.
And apparently, I guess like their whole like. Before they started diversifying, their original like
7-Elevens and gas stations
profession was, at the time seemed to be like anything credit related or anything that involves like fudging credit related stuff. So they like from what I heard back then was like they were able to buy a brand new car, and then like let it go into a collection, and then one of their friends would be the tow truck driver because a lot of Armenians also do tow truck driving.
Shit.
They would tow it. And then, like,
Take
play with
it.
the whole system. And I guess now you add that last piece of the puzzle, which is
they were the collection company as well. Oh my god, that's perfect.
So they just rinse and repeat that, and now the car's back in the hands of like
Armenian people, stereotypes that I love. Amazing. Good. That's good.
Yeah, so
that's
the car
really
would just
good.
go back, and then they would just instantly flip their credit right back up.
So I've heard a story of my friend who's a street racer. We have a local dealership that went bust a couple years back, and that makes a lot of sense because I didn't believe in his story, but now that you're telling me this, that might be it. So he owned a Nissan dealership, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess they get them all on credit. So he sold the entire inventory to another Nissan dealer, liquidated everything. Didn't tell Nissan. So imagine Nissan goes, here's all your 2020 cars. We're going to hold you for whatever, how much an entire 2020 roster is. And he's like, okay. He goes behind their back, sells the entire dealership, goes, I think I'll go back to Armenia. And sold everything. Didn't tell them. Nissan comes and is like, hey, what's going on here? They're like, oh, wait, the whole dealership's gone.
Yeah.
What the fuck? They're like, oh yeah, this guy sold it last year. What are you guys doing? It's all in Montclair now. And they're like, what the fuck? I didn't believe him at first. I was like, you can't do that. But now that I know this, I believe it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. So what else do these Armenian people do?
I mean, that's like the main stereotype that I'm familiar with.
Really?
Is they're great.
I know
like
they're really tight.
Credit.
I know that they're really.
And that's another thing too. It's because of that tightness and like it's like, oh, my cousin can do that, my uncle can do that, and then just suddenly like they create that system amongst each other.
See, I've heard from that they're like really big into real estate as well. And my dad actually worked for an Armenian. Now that I think about it, he owned a glacier company, and I want to say his uncle was in real estate. That's interesting. I'm gonna see if I can get an Armenian person to come on and like be like, hey bro, break this down for me, man.
All these life hacks.
Please. Us Mexican people need to know this shit because we're tired of working. That's amazing.
Well, Mexicans just need to start working together more. And
this
then
is
like
true.
get that community going. Because I know like, the amount of Mexicans that are in this state, I'm so surprised that they're not so much further ahead in life.
I think that's mainly because of the mind state, right? Because when they get here, it's like established roots, right? And work. They don't ever think create a business and branch out, because it's sort of like you get here by yourself, you work here by yourself. Whatever means that like some like the like stereotypical like landscaper business or like Home Depot construction, like your typical hard labor jobs, you'll have another Mexican hook you up with the job, but it's never, hey, this Mexican started the construction company, he's hiring only Mexicans and he's helping his community. It's usually never like that.
And that's where I think the ball gets dropped, because like one of the reasons why, for example, the Asian community or even the Jewish community do so well is that they keep the money in the community.
I thought it's because you guys are so smart.
No, it's just mainly because like one of the things is just like the money doesn't get spent out very much.
Stays
if you
inside
know,
the
if
community.
you know that there's like, for example, like with the Vietnamese community, if you know that there's another Vietnamese person that does that service that you need,
You hook them up with the
hire
job.
them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So like basically money would be coming from outside the community
staying
into
inside.
the different businesses, and it'll be funneled around the community to develop growth and you know, and we usually hook each other up.
Damn it,
with
Mexican
deals and
people.
stuff.
We got to get on that Armenian Asian level, man. Guys got to start helping out businesses.
Yeah.
Well, we do, right? But it's sort of like I'll be honest with you, the amount of business information that I've learned from my family that actually runs a small business is nothing. I've learned more on YouTube about business than I've learned from my family. And I think that just comes from like culture. Like you already have to have that mindset, like, hey, build something versus work at something. It's a completely different mindset, keeping your nose on the, like facing the ground and working versus looking up and building something. And a lot of people, sadly, in my community just choose to not get caught up. I don't know if it's because if it's the first generation thing and they're worried about getting caught doing something when they're not supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, well, Asian people do that all the time. Like I know plenty of like Chinese food restaurants, and I know that dude is not from here, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but for the most part, Mexican people tend to keep their nose down. I don't know why. And it bugs me.
Which is so odd too, because every like Mexican person I've ever met, for the most part, are like really confident and like, you know, they're
big.
Yeah, they're not like the quiet, stick to yourself type
so
person.
strange.
And so like it's like you basically have the confidence to be an entrepreneur, because I've seen the way you talk and act.
Right.
But like the idea of having a business just seems so like
it seems
far
like
outreach.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because, okay, I've never been to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even speak on my own culture, right? Because I can only speak from like second generation and onwards. Usually from what my mom has told me and from what I've seen, it's still pretty rough, right?
Oh yeah.
So you're living in poverty, and they don't even really have, well, some places do. They're the nicer, more developed parts, but the parts where my mom comes from, they don't have heat, like to heat up your water. They don't have they still have to like boil their water to take hot showers. It's so weird. Mm-hmm. I know Mexico is a developed country. It's just like, there's just so little infrastructure there that I don't understand. Like, I don't see how that mindset will develop once they come over. So it's more of a like survival mentality there.
Well, that's not really true though, because for example, like with the Vietnamese folks, like during the Vietnam War, it was a third world country.
Yeah.
There was like nothing there. It was just farms, you know? Like they were just starting to not even industrialize. They're just like, you know, they were still colonized by the French. They were just
was it the French?
Colonization, was just barely ending, and And like that war happened, and a ton of refugees came over here. No money, no English, and they started from the bottom, and now they're here.
All the what are the Vietnamese known for? Like the business?
Nail salons.
Is it nail salons?
Nail salons.
Nail salons. Okay, I can see it. Okay,
More than
yeah.
half of the nail salons out there
Are owned by Vietnamese people.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Vietnamese people? Dang, half? That's amazing. Good job. Half. We don't even own half the taco shops, bro. We're Mexican. Get the fuck out of here.
Actually, I think like 80%.
God damn.
Yeah, I think the Armenians are trying to get in on it.
On
I
nail?
can see
Really?
more and more nail salons that are Armenian owned now.
I have never ever been to an Armenian nail salon ever in my life.
Well, in my
I'm
area.
gonna be honest with you. If I walk into a nail salon and I don't see an Asian person, I'm gonna be very suspicious. I'm gonna be like, wait, what's going on?
Don't mean to bring race into this, but like I'm only pointing it out because like it seems like communities they specialize. Because like for example, the reason why a lot of Vietnamese people got into nails because my dad, I respect him like highly because he was a refugee, came over here with nothing, no English, and built up his empire, and it was like he was working in like a manufacturing company. My mom was also working in a manufacturing company, and word got out that some of the friends did nail salons or got into nails and made bank.
Oh no shit! Is it because it has like a low cost to return ratio?
It's because like it takes 6 months to get your license.
Oh okay.
And it only costs like not even $1,000.
What is it
to get your license?
Like a beautician?
It's just right around there, and then you get your license. You get your manicurist license and all that stuff, and it's off the board of like barber and cosmetology.
Oh, is that under the same thing? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
So you get your cert, and immediately you can make like $2-3 a month, and if you're really good, like $5,000.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How much are you guys charging for nails? What? Ginn, you got to break that down for me, sir, because that math went right over my head. What? So $5,000 if you're good, $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
And that's like if you're the owner or just a technician?
That's the technician.
Just a technician?
That's the technician.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, the owner could make anywhere between depending on how many tables you see in there and spa chairs, because it scales. Because there's like a maximum cap a nail salon can handle based on how many chairs and tables you have. And depending on how many, like let's say you have like 6 chairs and like 3 tables, you can make anywhere between like in profit $6,000 to like $15,000 a month.
Get the fuck out of here. Hey guys, open up a nail salon. It's a good business. Okay, so
it's a pain in the ass though.
I can imagine, because I've been to a nail salon
It's a lot of drama.
I was about to say that.
Drama.
It's mainly a female-oriented business, correct?
Yeah, and most of the clients are female too. So
oh my goodness.
A lot of drama.
So someone comes in on a bad day, and then if they don't like oh man, I can't. Oh no.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. So if a technician makes 3 G's and the owner makes about 5 G's, yeah, man, that seems like a good ass business for sure. And then is the materials cheap?
Yeah, materials dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you probably spend about maybe $2,000 a month on materials.
That's
and then
not
your technician makes anywhere between 45 to 55% commission. So like let's say a manicure costs like $20, then the technician gets $10. And then a manicure takes anywhere between 20 minutes to 30 minutes to do.
So how many sessions is a technician knocking out a day? Like on a regular day, not like a Saturday, Sunday, or like
on a regular day. Depends which day. It could be slower, busier. But like if they're a really like high quality technician, then they're knocking out anywhere between like 12 sessions, 14 sessions.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
If I would have known that a nail salon technician was making more than me delivering thousands of dollars in an armored vehicle, I would have changed careers a long ass time ago, bro. What the fuck?
And if you're a guy, it's not hard to do really well because the tips too. They make tips. What? I forgot tips. Tips makes up a lot of that money too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. So you're saying if I'm a good looking guy, I do well?
It's not you're a good looking guy. It's if you can talk. Because
I run a podcast, sir.
Most women go to nail salons not just to get their nails done.
They're going for a therapy session?
Yes.
Jesus.
Exactly. So if you're there just, letting them vent or talk about their day or whatever.
Oh, no.
Like, you earn their business. Like, you don't even have to be a great, like, skill, a highly skilled tech. I hope you guys are writing
this down.
You just need to, like, be able to be there for them because they come because they like an average client comes like every 2-3 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm out the fucking loop. I thought they go like once a month.
Maybe it could just be because of the area that our salons are in. Because we're in the more wealthier area, and like those people like come.
Maintenance.
Yeah, they come like every 2 weeks.
Oh dang! Yeah. It's expensive to be a female. That explains the high maintenance.
Yeah.
High maintenance means a lot of nail salon trips. Gotcha.
Yeah. And they come in like in that area because it just depends what area too. I guess I'm using bad reference because that area, I forgot to mention like the area that we're in, it's like
a good location.
It's a good location. Yeah. It's like a lot of celebrities and like office people, business people work there, like doctors, lawyers and stuff. And a lot of their wives are stay-at-home wives.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I can see that. Lawyers, stay-at-home wives.
They spend a pretty hefty amount of money. Like some of the clients would drop like $80 every time they come in.
I thought we said it was $20.
Oh, for a basic manicure, but they're not doing basic manicure. Like mani-pedi and like they're doing gel and stuff. Yeah, or like acrylic and all that.
I'm learning all kinds of shit today.
That can go up to like $100 a session.
No way.
Yeah, and then like tip is 20%.
All the girls are like, this fucking idiot. This fool doesn't know shit. He's like, you should know this. I'm like, I don't know shit. I don't know shit, guys. I'm sorry. This is all news to me. I'm gonna remember this from now on. $100 for like the top of the line, mani-pedi, like everything. Got it. Cool. So, is that mainly like what your dad's doing now, or is it like one of his relatives or a friend?
Okay, so. After I got out of high school, I was still still side hustling, like because I had graphic design under my belt. So I was making business cards for people, flyers, and like designing stuff. Yeah. So like I had computer repairs, designing stuff, and then I was blessed that like a lot of my family members pursued entrepreneur routes.
Oh, really?
Especially with the nail salons.
So it's in the family. It's not just you.
Yeah, it's in the family. And like a lot of them were doing like restaurants or nail salons. And so with my background in like architecture and like art and stuff, I was like, okay, full service. I can do your cards, flyers. I can, when you're getting your facility furnished, I can design your facilities.
So my question is when me personally, when it comes to business, I'll pay anybody and everybody full price. I never ask for the hookup. Why? Because if you're charging this amount, it's for a reason, right? You should pay what the service requires. But did your family and friends hit you guys up for like, hey, Ginn, give me the family discount?
All the time.
Damn it.
And I was a doofus back then too, because I didn't know what my skills were worth. So now knowing what I know, because back then I was still a kid and I thought that like, I'm just an
Everyone
amateur.
Can do this.
I'm just an amateur. And yeah, anybody can do this. Like, they're just probably better people than me. But now looking back, like, no, man, I undercharged for my services, like a lot. And that was my biggest problem in my, like, early years of entrepreneur because I always undercharged. Because I would always assume that, like, this is more money than what I would normally make. I'm good. But then I forget to calculate how many hours it took me to work on the project, or if I had to take resources and materials to work on the project. And so like that should technically already be included in any price for a service. On top of that, you have to add in profit on top of the labor and material. If you're charging, the rate that you're charging doesn't include a margin for profit on top of that, then you're not making profit.
Right. So you're just wasting your time spinning your wheels.
I was basically like I had a job, but I was working for myself. I didn't have a business back then or any businesses, even though I had businesses, but they weren't businesses. They weren't scalable. Yeah.
They're hustles. That's the difference. The difference between a business and a hustle is when it scales.
Yes.
When it scales, and technically when you start paying taxes on it. But that depends on you guys.
Yes.
That depends on you. So you started doing the basically media for all of your media. Friends and family and whatnot. Is that what kind of segued you to doing media for everybody else?
Yeah. Because I had that background, and my brother finished high school with a film background.
Oh, okay.
And a bunch of our friends, because we went to Media Academy, had a film background too. So that's when we
were
pursuing
guys,
film.
Let's start a business.
Like back then, that was new. Nobody had. I didn't even know. I didn't even know there was a label for it back then. We had basically a marketing company.
Yeah, that's what it's called nowadays.
Like a one-stop marketing company.
Yeah.
That did graphic design, interior design, and I at the time Facebook was starting to blow up, so I learned how to market on Facebook.
Those ads were garbage. Though.
Yeah, they were garbage back then, but it was a one-stop shop. We could make videos for the business or for artists. So the majority of our clients back then was either family, friend businesses, or because I got into raving and anime around then was why we started doing more filmmaking related stuff.
So how did that expand? The raving and the media and the anime, how did that come together?
So I have a terrible habit of whatever I enjoy doing. I have to figure out how to have that hobby pay for itself at least.
That is an amazing habit. What the fuck are you talking about?
But then you turn all your hobbies to work.
That's true. But what's that old saying that if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life?
Yes, that's true. And then it's that whole that one-stop shop media background that we had allowed us to do a lot of raves for free.
Oh,
and not
really?
just for free. We had backstage passes.
Okay, tell me that story. Tell me all of those stories right now. What was the first one? Where? How? When?
It was
No, you're good, man. You can smoke in here.
It was undergrounds. I started doing undergrounds
flyer
too.
parties?
Because after when you start raving long enough, you start with the mainstream stuff, right? And then when you do the mainstream stuff long enough, you make enough friends that are promoters.
Yeah.
And then you start doing the events.
Yeah.
the undergrounds. And all these people needed flyers made. They needed videos shot.
Oh, that's true.
And so they were hiring us to go to their raves
and shoot.
Ah,
that's so sick.
So we were getting completely plastered and messed up. and
as
that
you
night
should.
paid for itself.
As you should.
Yeah.
As long as I think you only use honestly 10% of anything that you shoot, unless you're shooting a movie. Then you may
my brother is an amazing videographer.
Is he?
And because of that, no matter how messed up he is, he could always come out with good stuff. And I always came in as the directors. That was our tag team. I was the director's eye.
The shot.
Yeah. And he was the camera operator, but he always could get the shot focused right, color
panned in,
white balance and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
got all the settings down.
We'd be messed up, but I would always when I get messed up, I get into work mode too when I'm in work mode. So even when I'm messed up, I still remember to socialize and network and
do your job,
have fun, drink more, but then give myself 30 minutes with my brother, and we just walk around. We're all right, get this shot. All right, I need you to get this low angle. Let's find a high up position to get our upper shot. Get behind the stage.
That's kind of what I do at cons, but a much less professional version of that. You guys, I've seen some of your guys' stuff, and it's really good. My stuff is literally just run and gun with a cell phone, as crappy as it is. So what was the first instance of that with you and your brother? When was your guys' first gig and you guys had to be professional, quote unquote professional?
We were never professional. That's why that's why I always stayed in media.
Oh my god.
Because this is the one industry you never need to be professional in.
That's so true.
As long as the content at the end of the day
looks good.
Who
gives a
and
fuck?
you don't act like a retard and
Yeah.
embarrass the promoter or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whoever hired you. So we never did, but people clearly knew we were messed up.
Right.
But it was the fact that we were messed up, and got extra hype, and we hyped them up for the shots too. So we always had like people
That
super
energy.
hype. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went.
So what was your guys' first gig though? Like,
So,
tell me that story.
I linked up with some promoters like a year into raving, or they weren't even promoted. Like back then, they were just starting out. They're big now, but back then they were just starting out.
Okay.
And rave families are right.
Yeah, of course.
So I was in. I would consider it one of the biggest rave families in SoCal.
Oh, really?
Around
What was it?
2010. It was like LAOC fam and Plur fam.
Okay.
And we had members for all of California. Any rave I went to, I would always bump into like at least 2 people
That you knew?
that I knew. Every
happens.
single event.
Like, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah. So, I guess when whenever I saw that somebody was trying to do an event,
Yeah.
I would be like, "Yo, bro, you want me to film that?"
And they'd be like, yeah.
Yes, I'm happy
go
to
ahead.
film it.
And then you
So the
slowly
first few
slide them the
gigs
price.
we did for free
Oh,
because
of course.
that you always like if you don't have a portfolio, you always gotta do stuff for free.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's media in general. Like any media, you always you have to do your that's your school. You basically you just gotta do stuff for free, but
Until you get
you're not paying for
reputation.
education, you know? So you get the reputation. And so we were getting hired for it was first a house party that we filmed at. First, my first like rave house party. It was like super dope.
Was it sketch? It's always sketch.
No, it wasn't sketch. Like
No?
everybody there was so dope. It was like
it's always
super
sketchy.
chill. And
Ecstasy starts rolling out cokes on the table. You're just like, oh my
I
God.
mean, I guess that's what you consider sketch, but I didn't consider that sketch.
It's a little sketch. So you guys started filming and then you started building up a little bit of a reputation.
Yeah.
So what did you guys start doing for yourselves once you guys actually got a reputation going? Because you guys did raves for free for yourselves?
We did it. It was just our first couple of jobs, and then we had like great videos. Like back then,
Can I
compared
look
to
them up?
Yeah.
What is it? Just tell
Actually,
me.
let me make sure if it's still live.
Okay. Tell me
Give me 1 second.
while I remove my history. It's okay. It's incognito, so it's very innocent history. Kind of.
Actually, let me just show you the video. That'd be way faster, right?
You could just tell me what it is. I could find it.
I just don't know if I privated it or not.
You privated one of your rave videos?
don't know
Jen, what are you doing?
That's what I'm checking.
Why are you doing that to yourself, bro? You always want to be able to look back and be like, man, I was a dumbass.
God damn it.
I love that soundbite. It's one of my favorite ones. Next to this one. That's my other favorite soundbite. So was this on your guys' like private YouTube?
Because we always upload it to our channel just for our portfolio, but then we also upload it, or like we gave it to the client for them to upload on their channel because it's their event.
Right. Do you know
they need it for whatever promotional material that they needed it for.
That's true. Facts.
1 second. Okay, yeah, I found one. Okay.
Funny side story that while you're looking for that. So I have behind you on that rack, I have a signed ticket from Porter Robinson that's hidden somewhere back there. Have you ever been to Sutra?
Sutra?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So when Porter Robinson first started, like I forgot what album it was. He had like very little traction.
Yeah.
He's super huge now. I think he even did like an anime.
He's crazy huge now.
He's gigantic, right? So him playing Sutra, which is actually a really small venue, he actually opened for another DJ.
I remember that.
So he opened for Zed's Dead. And not that long ago.
Was it Zed or Zed?
No, Zed's Dead.
Okay.
I remember.
I know that they did a Poseidon tour together.
Yes. But I not that long ago, I actually seen it the other way around. And it's not, it was a few years back, maybe like 6-7 years ago. And I was like, man, I wonder how Zed feels about that. Like, wait, didn't this kid open for us? Are we opening for him now?
Right? How tables have turned.
I know. And dude, it was so funny going backstage, because I snuck backstage.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to one of my friends who, are we getting a little, okay. What? Getting a little chatter.
Is that me? No.
I think it might be your headphone. You're good? Yeah, we're good.
It's in. They're tight.
That's what she said. Okay. No, but so I went to one of my friends and I was like, hey, I want to sneak backstage. I want to meet Porter Robinson. And she's like, I'm down. Let's go. I'll distract security. You go in there and get the signature. I was like, down. So we go up to the security. There's this nice velvet rope, big, tall, white guy, probably like 6'3", probably like 240. Huge. Way bigger than me. I was like, hey, man, I actually left something back there. He goes, fuck off. I was like, all right, cool. I tried. So I go back. I was like, all right, tag team, it's your turn. And she walks over there. She starts buttering him up, just like, you know, looking
Power
good. Oh, man, it sucked. It sucked because I was like, oh, man, I wish I had tits.
Right?
So he's not paying any attention. And literally the only thing stopping me from meeting Porter Robinson is this velvet rope. And if you've been to Sutra, there's like a center stage right next to the bar. So it's actually a really small dance floor. And the stage is actually in front of VIP. So you take a small staircase up to VIP behind the stage. So she's talking to him. She's buttering him up. She's touching him on the shoulders. I'm like, man, she's good. So this dude's not paying any attention. So I just kind of like grabbed the metal pole, put it to the side and just walk by. I'm like, holy shit, I'm in VIP. Yes. I was like, I am in VIP. This is fucking amazing. So I see Zed's Dead still playing. And I'm like, I wanted to kind of go up to them, but I was like, that'd be like instantly getting caught. I'm like, if I stop them to just say hi like an idiot because I'm super drunk, I'm like, I'm gonna get caught and I'm gonna get thrown out. So Porter Robinson's just chilling in the back. He's super young. I think he's like a year younger than me. So at the time I was like 23 or 22. So he was probably 21. Yeah, I think that's about right. So I go up to him, super shy. I'm like, mind you, I'm super drunk. I'm like, excuse me, are you Porter Robinson? He's like, yeah.
It's like, how do you know me? I'm an opener.
I was like, hey man, I came to see you and Zed. And he's like, oh, that's super cool. He's like, you want to take a seat? I was like, yeah, let's see. So I sat down. I was like, cool. And I was like, can you sign this? And then my dumbass left the Sharpie with my friend.
Oh.
Yeah. So I hand him the paper. I'm checking my pockets. And he's like, yeah, man, sure, I'll sign it for you. Checking his pockets, checking my pockets. I'm like, I don't have anything. He goes, lucky for you, I always carry a Sharpie. He pulls out a Sharpie, signs it. He goes, super so dope, signs it, gives it back to me. And then as he's giving it back to me, I see on the far right side, security coming and like giving me like a dead ass look. Just, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, time to go. I was like, he was awesome meeting you, man. Your set was dope. I got to go bye. And I like folded up without thinking. I'm like, I just got a signature from a superstar, right? So I fold up the signature and I shove it in my pocket. And I run back there and I like grab the pole and I throw it back, catches the security's attention. He's like, what the fuck? Did you just go back there? He's like looking back and I'm like, all right, bye. And I just like ran into the crowd and straight into the bar. Yeah, I was gone. And Zed's Dead's rocking it. So there's people like headbanging in the front. So he's not getting past nobody.
Fucking bass heads going off.
It was so much fun. So I get to the bar and my friend walks up to me. She's like, did you get it? I was like, I like reached deep into my drunk ass pocket and I pulled it out, uncrumpled it. I was like, I got his fucking signature. It's sitting back there somewhere.
Somewhere.
It's there.
In the ether.
It's in the ether of that arts and crafts stuff that I got to post up. But yeah, actually, if you want to go ahead and reach for that black frame that's right there, the very top. Yeah, go ahead and grab that. So people don't call me a liar.
Yo.
So people don't call me a fucking liar. Porter Robinson. Hey, what's up, man?
Pre-Porter.
Yeah.
when he was an opener.
It was so crazy when I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Years later, he's like super huge. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I wish some of that famous would have rubbed off on me. That would have been really nice. It would have been dope, man. But oh well. So did you find the videos?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Facebook.
Oh, I gotta open Facebook. God damn, I gotta disconnect.
Did I dox you by accident?
I kind of a little bit, but good thing I'm. I gotta. How am I gonna do this?
Good thing you can edit this out.
I could, but I gotta.
Should I clap? Do you need me to clap?
Yeah, go ahead and give that a clap. And magic.
Well, it's not gonna be as awesome if you don't hear the music,
Right? Everybody's be like, that looks so late.
right? Because that was the thing that my brother was really talented in editing, was that he could cut to music really well, and a lot of his transitions and cuts like hit beat. So yeah, so that's
nice.
why like a lot of people liked hiring us to do their videos, because we hit beat really well.
Oh, okay, all right. And this is one of your guys's.
This is like one of the first house party raves that we got hired to do.
Hey, man, you guys came a long way.
Yeah, and like the person that threw this event is probably like one of the most influential social media like news
promoters.
outlet in the EDM scene now.
No way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is where they started. This was their first event.
Dude, this looks like.
Yeah, EDM Maniac. If you guys look them up on Instagram, I think they have over like 200 and something K followers.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Let me double check that real quick.
That's really dope. Okay. So this is like peak early EDM.
Yeah, okay, my bad. 155K. But yeah.
That's still fucking amazing. From humble beginnings at house parties in the back, people shuffling. Hey man, these shots are really good. I'm not gonna lie. Especially in house parties, it's always packed and it's super tight.
Yeah. And
what were you guys shooting on back then?
I am.
Oh wait, what? I missed it. What? Right here?
I always had a goer beanie on. That's how people could find me at raves. Like
oh,
for those entire 3 years, every rave I went to, that beanie right there.
Oh man.
And ducky tie.
Man, times have changed from this.
Yes.
A lot. The EDM scene has changed quite a bit from this.
Yes, it has.
Like, so you guys were there for the whole ride then, huh?
Yeah, we were there like when EDM hit mainstream.
So
like
you guys,
the whole transitions.
You guys got to see like the peak of. You guys got to see the rise of Insomniac.
Yeah.
You guys got to see that meteoric rise.
My first rave ever actually was EDC 2010, the last Los Angeles EDC.
Oh, yeah. You mean when they like
where that chick passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first rave I ever went to.
So that specific rave is legend. Yes. Like of the stories from people rushing the stage, people rushing the gates, and people breaking through from the outside that didn't even buy tickets.
Yes.
Oh man.
Lots of crazy shit happened that week.
I went to that.
You
I did, but I was so out of it that it's a blur.
Yeah,
it's a blur.
Yeah,
and then
I was pretty out of it too.
People tell me stories of other things that happened in the area. I'm like, that happened while I was there. I didn't see it. They're like, yeah, dude, people got smushed up on a cage by a fence. I was like, what? Really?
Yeah, no, I don't remember any of that stuff. It wasn't until I started watching YouTube videos after, I'm like, whoa, all this happened. Somebody died. Like, what?
Yeah. You're so oblivious. You're like, I was just having a good time, feeling the love, getting candies.
Lots of love.
Yeah. It was definitely a thing. But from that to there is definitely a big jump. That was your first EDC?
Yeah. First rave ever. Man. First rave ever.
That's a big way to go, man.
Yeah.
Like you gotta start off small. Go to like the middle in between.
I jumped
raves.
into the deep end of the pool.
Man.
When I finished high school, I did my first anime convention. That was like my celebratory thing to do. I did anime convention for the AX for the first time ever.
Which one was it?
It was like the only one in Long Beach. The worst one, apparently. From what everybody tells me, my first AX was the worst AX ever.
What is that, like 2009?
Like 7 or 8. That was like because it was after high school when I went.
I think we went to the Long Beach one. No. Yeah, I think we went to the Long Beach one before. Yeah. It was okay, but I was still in high school when I went.
No, I was barely getting introduced to the EDM scene, and like I when I was walking around, I bumped into some drunk people that were going at the anime convention. I was like, what the hell?
Like, what is
people
this?
Get drunk at anime people party at anime stuff?
Yeah, for those who
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Like,
who didn't know, nerds get down at these things. It's awesome.
That's we can pivot into that story later.
Right? So you did the whole EDC for the first time. How was that being like, did you get ideas as like a media professional and be like, oh,
hell no. I literally went in just to experience
Party?
what it was like to do a rave for the first time. And it was like the best experience. Like I would consider it like
life-changing?
if you take your entire life's worth of happiness up until that point and consolidate it into one day.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I never want to leave.
Yeah.
Like this is awesome.
For like that, afterwards I was hooked.
Yeah.
So
For those of you who don't know, rave junkies are a thing, and it's a good thing because the community, at least back then, I don't know.
They were great back then. Now it's
I don't know. I haven't been in it in a minute.
I get a little put off sometimes.
I haven't been there in a while. I haven't gone to an EDC in like 6 years, maybe 5 years now. I don't know.
It's huge.
Yeah, I heard it's super packed. Always gets sold out. I want to go.
I still have my ticket.
You got for this year?
Yeah, but I pushed it to next year. There's too much going on this year.
Is that the move?
That's what I did. I pushed it to next year. I know that he Pasquale tried to push it to like September or something or October.
Yeah, something happened with Vegas.
But either which, I don't plan on going this year at all because there's so much stuff.
Yeah, so much garbage going on this year with COVID and the restrictions and.
Well, it's just for me. It's just work.
Oh, is it just work?
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah. I'm just so busy. I can't even like. And I'm trying to save up some money for all the stonk plays right now.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to talk to you about. So you did this media thing with your humble beginnings at house parties. You cut your teeth.
It was house parties, music videos for like rappers. Because I had friends that were like, back then the word podcast didn't exist yet, but they wanted to do a video online radio with video. So we
a talk show.
It was a talk show, yeah, but online,
right?
Exclusively online,
right?
So once more, my brother and I got roped into it because we could film. So we helped them film, and then through that we like linked up with hip hop artists and Valley rappers to do music videos for them. And so it was that was like the bulk of our work back then.
How did that man? You guys were just in the party lifestyle for a minute then, huh? It must have been what, from raving to did you guys do anime conventions also?
Hell yeah.
Okay, tell me all that story.
I got some videos I can show you.
Yeah, man, tell me where they at. I'll pull them up right now.
Same channel,
same place. All right. Oh, I'm already there. Cool. All right, so let's go. What is this channel? EMG World.
Yeah, it's a pretty dead channel now because we stopped like doing production stuff. But yeah, you can.
Let's see which one you want.
Like a bigger event that we did. I'm still friends with the promoter that did that one. Is Electropolis, or if you look up the Project Unity one, all the way to the right.
222.
Yeah.
And this one?
No, right below.
Boop, that one.
Yeah. So that one had like 800 people, and it was at a club downtown, Club 333. So with the radio thing that we were doing. And the filming, the guy that did this one got us in to do their live stream and film the event. And this is not the good cut. This was one of our nignogs back then. we after we did things for a couple of years, my brother was still working at the high school that we went to, and we're like, dude, we need more people to help film. So we went back and recruited people straight out of high school. Like as soon as they finished high school or as soon as they were 18, we this was their first job.
So you're like, you guys are getting paid, but you guys get some experience.
Yeah, and it was crazy because imagine seeing your teacher
what were you guys
getting lit.
Back then?
70D.
A 70D?
No, 60D. 60D. 60D was our bread and butter for a good like 8 years.
Oh,
yeah,
dang,
and we had the Sigma, was it 1835 lens? Like, like the lens that's good for almost everything.
The kit lens almost.
Yeah, but it's an amazing lens.
Yeah.
And so with that, we did most of our shoots with that, and at that time, like even when things transitioned to like 2K, people were like, dude, your footage looks way better than the cameras that were even shot like at that level.
It's all about how you use it for the most part, and the lens.
Yeah.
So you guys did a lot of this. So this was at a club. What was your first con job? Not con job, but job at a con.
I never did a job at a. Well, okay. So we were also trying to launch a YouTube channel.
Is this not it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is it, but like you can see, like it's not like a continuous thing. It was basically a portfolio of our work.
Yeah.
So
it's functional. It works.
Yeah. So I was doing AX. Remember I told you the first year I discovered what a con drunk was. Yeah. So, but I had a terrible experience. But at the same time, it was like the first time I ever was away from home for a whole weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
tell me that like opened my world up to like
that nerds party.
Well, I didn't even go to a party back then. Like that whole weekend was amazing, but garbage.
Whoa,
okay.
Why?
Okay. So amazing because that was that weekend was the premiere of Transformers.
Oh.
The first time the first Transformers movie ever came out, and AX had the exclusive premiere. Like the first time Transformers was ever played in theaters was during AX.
I must have missed that panel.
It wasn't a panel. It was at their theater, the theater nearby. Or no, it wasn't the theater nearby. It was a long line.
I didn't go to it.
So that weekend, my friend, which was also an anime nerd, like one of I'd say biggest influencer in my life when I was in high school and like growing up and developing into a person. Like he was the one because I was like the artsy fartsy quiet type.
Fartsy quiet type.
And he was like the typical nerd type of stuff. And he was the one that kept pushing me to like get out of my shell, like take world by the balls and just like live your life. Got me into like cars, racing, and like even more gaming and anime. So I went with his friends to AX that year, and that was my first convention, first time even like meeting some of these people. You guys got a hotel and everything? Yeah, well, it was Motel 6 for with 12 guys.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Dude, I'm gonna tell you a quick side story. For Anime Expo, what is it, 2017, we stayed at the Kawada.
Oh, that's the worst hotel
it's so bad. Okay, so we wanted to spend as little money as possible, right? Because we wanted to spend it on other stupid shit, right? Because merch is a thing for con goers.
Heck yeah, it is.
Right? So we didn't want to spend money on non-essentials like hotels. So it was me, my friend Sam, my friend Larry, his wife, my friend Eric.
You're dropping names? Is that okay?
Yeah, they know. They were there, unless they weren't supposed to be there for some reason that I don't know about. So my friend Eric and his girlfriend. So between all of us, it came out to like $47 each, right? For our, 4-night stay from Friday. No, was it 4 nights? I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, AX is 4 days.
So we thought we were packed in there. It was 2 beds, and if you've been to the Kawada.
It's like a prison.
Yes,
they're not even real beds.
It's so bad, but it's cheap. So meh. So we thought we were stuffed in there. We were bitching, complaining that no one can walk around. We had to like do the con stuff, like make cup noodles from the coffee water. And, you know, just all the con classics. And then we walk outside and we smell dank weed, like hella dank weed. And since the Kawada is basically made out of newspaper, all that whoever was smoking went all into the hallway.
Yeah.
So we're like, damn, what the fuck? That shit's fire. So we go get some ice. We come back and someone opens a door adjacent from us. And because the room is so tiny, we got a glimpse into that room. There was at least 17 heads in that room.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo. So me being the
Wait, what year was that?
This was like 2017. It was.
Oh, okay. So, well, it might have been the year that I was in the Kawada.
Was it you, Jen? Was it you? Was it you, Jen? So I remember walking by and they opened the door and then I'm just like, yo, are you guys smoking that weed? And they're like, oh shit, shut the door. I'm like, I'm so strange sometimes because I'll just go out and be too much. I put my hand on the door and I like look and I'm like, how the fuck did you guys get this many people in this room? And they're like, are you going to AX? I was like, yeah. They're like, you want to smoke? I was like, I'll catch you guys later on that. And like, we're the room right across. I'm just letting you guys know we can smell it from our room. They're like, oh shit. And then some dude's like, dude, I told you they could smell it. Oh man. AX is a trip. But go ahead. Tell me what was your experience like?
Bro, so
was it that bad?
I mean, it was a great first experience. That's what the year I learned about cup noodles in the room.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
And apparently guys don't mind watching hentai together.
No. Everybody has awkward boners. Everybody knows this.
And if you have a bunch of Korean friends, there's a good chance that they're gonna do Korean barbecue one of the nights.
In the room?
In the room.
How? Tell me that.
We just fucking did it.
How? Did you guys bring a mini grill?
Electric fucking grill.
Oh, that is the move.
Did that shit, bro.
Oh, that is the fucking move for sure. God damn it, you Asian people and your Asian hacks. Oh, that's see, we can't do that. What am I supposed to make, tacos? The fuck?
Yeah, why the hell not?
I guess that's a move though. I learned most of my con tricks from just necessity, and then being like, man, we're hungry, we don't have a stove. And you know what's funny? I think the Kawada actually offers like a kitchenette now. I saw a room for it.
They better. I mean, the shower is like a prison shower.
Oh man,
like there's not even a light switch. It's just a timer. I have a video when we were in the Kawada actually.
Where? I need to see this.
Wait, I might have blocked it.
Yeah, it's private.
Reason. Scroll up. Scroll up.
Where?
Yeah, it's blocked.
It's blocked. It's private.
No,
okay.
It's
got me excited. Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, no, it was bad. But yeah, so that first weekend, the group that I went with were super straight edge. I didn't even know what partying was back then, So
they were straight edge?
Yeah, then they were straight edge too. Like they were like the closet, like nerd and home nerds.
Oh,
and
damn.
So so my friend and I, we were exploring and everything, and then we wanted to stay the entire weekend because my first time like being out of the house, and I knew that on Sunday like afternoon was gonna be the premiere of the Transformer movies, or the first Transformer movie ever by Michael Bay. And so we wanted to stay and watch it, but then everybody else wanted to leave. So when they decided to leave early, so the Saturday night they left, and they just gave me like some bags of chips.
The fuck?
Like 2 bags of chips. They're like, all right, good luck. We're out.
Oh no shit.
So my friend and I were the only two. Yeah, we were the two that stayed. And phone was running out of battery. I went to one of the hotels to charge it, and guess what? The hotel person like kicked us out. They're like, you can't camp in here. I'm like, I just need to charge my phone just real quick, and then I'm out. Like I'm not like homeless or something. I'm a con goer. I need to charge my phone. Like no, you can't be in here. You can't be in here.
Get the fuck out of here for real.
Yeah. So,
dude.
So my phone ended up dying that night.
So now you're in the middle of a con with no phone, no parental supervision. This technically could get out of hand. What happened?
So, well, it didn't crazy get out of hand because I was like, well, I have nowhere to sleep now, or like my friend and I, we have nowhere to sleep, so let's go camp for the Transformers movie. So we were the first people in line.
Oh shit!
For that movie because we were there from the night before. We had nowhere else to go. So
it's people like you. We
started the line.
It's people like you that started the camping inside of the Hall H and Hall B.
I guess.
You originated it.
I guess so. We were the first people. We stayed the night before. We ended up like sleeping outside at the entrance where we knew the line was gonna be at, and then it just started forming around us. Like I saw the line just grow around the block.
I want to say that people don't do that anymore, but it's actually more of a thing now.
Yeah, because there's even more people.
So people are sleeping, like taking their first day to just go to a hall that's showing X, Y, and Z premiere. So I think it was for Sailor Moon Crystal, the movie, or like the pre-premiere or premiere. There was a line that went, it was like a Disney line. It was a tricky line.
Yeah.
So you saw it And then you're like, oh, it's just around the block. Not a big deal. You go around the block and then there's
around the
and
block.
it's around the block. And you're like, what the fuck? And then they make like a zigzag from the block and then it goes down like a set of stairs.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the panel that I was hosting for like 5 years was like that.
Oh,
Yeah, because we had a 3,000 capacity and that line went forever.
you did a panel for what?
Super Epic Fun Time Love Love Dating Game Show Extreme Edition.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that panel.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was one of the co-creators of that panel.
I didn't go, but I remember that panel because I was like, dude, we need to go to this. This is plus 18. We should go.
Yes.
And they're like, no.
Dude, it was this funny story too, because when I came up with that name,
Uh-huh.
it was because, I was a nerd and I was like, dude, if we need a panel to fill up, we need to have the most ridiculous name
to
and
catch up
make it as
people's
long
attention.
as possible.
It worked.
So that anybody that was going through the pamphlet, like immediately is like, what is this? What
is
is
this?
Super
What the
Epic
fuck?
Fun Time? And it's a love dating game show?
That's a good name, sir. Good job. Because I saw it instantly on the book and I was like, that seems like a good time.
Yes.
Let's go there.
It was.
We didn't go because it was competing with one of our other panels. My friends were being.
I guarantee you that our panel was better.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you
How'd it
that.
go?
It went phenomenal.
How-
But that's a few years later. But we're time skipping right now after Transformers. But
okay.
yeah, so time skip.
Yeah, time skip. First day at the con, you get abandoned. A few years later, you're doing your own panel.
Yeah, and it's like one of the biggest panels at AX.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the process to get a panel at it? Especially
Well, things
AX?
changed now. Back then, because they corporatized. Back then,
Yeah,
it was
small.
Yeah, it was much smaller and it was easier to link with like the top
promoters
brass.
and all that stuff,
and
yeah.
like talk to the right people.
So what was the procedure back then?
So, let me try and remember.
Did you just hit them up and be like, hey, I have an idea for a panel?
Yeah. Actually, we just submitted our panel.
And that was it?
Yeah,
and
we
they were
literally just created, like, we followed all their policies, like create it, make the summary, submit
okay,
it,
I'm
and all
gonna
that
be real
stuff.
honest. They must have not looked at the submissions at all.
Well, because they just needed content back then. Because a lot of the panels, like back then, were like whack. Like there's the only good ones was like the masquerade, the dance, and like some of the interviews that they had for like
Yeah,
the
guests.
the guests and
Premieres.
and then the karaoke and anime theater.
Oh, karaoke's the
Yeah,
best.
those were like their main bread and butter. And so and then I guess like this one other group did another 18 plus event, and we saw that there's like, oh, there's 18 plus events. What can we do? What can we do?
What's the limit? Where's the line?
Apparently our show always pushed that line further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know for a fact that some of these panels got pretty strange at times.
Oh, our panel for sure was strange.
Yeah.
Because it was a dating game show.
Right.
Yeah, it was a Japanese-based dating game show. And you know how Japanese stuff are. They're ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah, so we basically did our own version of like a Japanese game show, but for dating.
So what was the instant where we were like, oh my God, I hope no one from the convention walks in right now?
No, because we actually had people from the convention
And
there.
they were just like,
because
cool with
there's
it?
people that had to monitor each room. There's always
Right.
like staff in each room.
Yeah, but usually it was a volunteer.
Yes.
So
But back then, like a lot of the people that did AX back then were like, it was a close circle because it was like a group of friends basically. You know,
Right.
they all knew each other and they're all like they basically like had influence. Even if they're volunteers. Like if there's like your general volunteers, but then there's like your room managers, and those people are like, you know, not so much volunteers.
yeah, because that was the move back in the day. Because if you're a poor teenager or poor, like, you know, early 20 something, and you wanted a ticket to X, you could volunteer, do like a day of work, and then get a free pass for 4
Or
days.
you can do a panel
Or you
and
could
get
do
16 passes and a hotel comp.
yeah, because Ginn, that's definitely the move. But that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it was, but it was fun work. Like it was stressful, but super fun. And it was that whole thing. Remember I told you my habit of like, I need to pay for itself.
Did
like
it pay?
I was going to conventions like every freaking year, and you know, hotels cost a lot of money, parking, food, everything costs a lot of money. But then now our hotel got comped, and we got free badges. And they're not just any badges; they're exhibitor badges. which is like right up there with VIP badges.
Right.
Like you can just walk straight into any panel.
And that just lets you through.
Yeah, like there was no
Cut
lines for us.
Yeah.
And we had like exhibitor lounges. Like it's
That's
worth it,
definitely
dude.
the
Like
move.
like you can go like right now how packed AX is. Exhibitors have their own like area they can walk through.
Yeah, that would be fucking dope. But the problem is what you can't, like you said, AX is a corporate business now, right?
Yeah, it's changed. That's why it's a good thing that our show stopped when it did, because the year before
AX.
it stopped was when like a lot of the whole sexual harassment stuff started happening, or like the PC movement started hitting the anime community, and our show would not fly today. Like 100%, our show would not fly today.
It could. It's just, okay, so I feel like weebs, right, for the most part, are very open people. It's just the last few years has been like a slow decline. Maybe because, okay, so we were always on a decline from, like, if you saw my first podcast with Irvin, we talked about we went from yaoi paddles and smooshing
And glomps,
free
hugs,
oh my God, to, what is it?
safe space.
Oh, dude,
Safe space.
spaces.
And then that little mascot
For the AX convention. What is it?
It's because they had so many lawsuits, apparently.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, so they had to do that.
So is that them just because honestly, I don't feel like they enforce it that much. That I feel like
they compared to before, they are way more
stricter?
serious about that. Yeah.
I haven't been in at least 2 years.
I mean,
2 years.
I after my panel, I stopped going to the actual convention. I just started doing parties.
Yeah, because that's also
like,
move.
You don't even need to go to events. You still hang out with all your same friends and everything, and just go party. And that's what I was going for.
See, I like to people watch at cons. It's so much fun.
Yeah, you can do that outside.
Yeah, but it's just so much fun on the inside because then
bro, it's so packed in there. What are you watching? Like
I can tell you, I can tell you stories, and it's sort of like I'll just okay, quick story. So we were going to one of the movie premieres, right? And the line was up the yin yang. So we decided not to go. We're just going to grab food. Yeah. It's right across the place. There's like a small little like hole in the wall that's inside the convention center. So we go get food, right? In line, there's 2 maids in maid outfits. There's a bunch of them running around.
Yeah.
It's a typical thing. Didn't catch my attention at all. And my friend's like, hey, what are they talking about? And then I start paying attention. And my friend is, I'm not going to say his name, but he's not very smooth about it. Because when he said it, they stopped talking.
Oh my God.
Right. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So we kind of pretend like nothing's going on. They continue talking. And then they were talking about how they didn't know if they're going to peg their guy friend who came with them. And at the time I was like, I wasn't too involved in the conversation because I was hungry.
Yeah.
And I'll say the word pegged as in like a non-literal version of that. But then I started getting context like through the side of what I want to order and then their conversation when they're whispering. I'm like, oh my God, they're serious. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, Jesus Christ. And
that's the best thing about anime conventions.
It's like
the side conversations.
And maybe it was completely out of context, but it was hilarious. And I tried so hard not to laugh or to ask a question, be like, wait, what are you guys talking about? So I let it go. And then we left or whatever. And we got our food. My friend stopped paying attention, but now I want to know.
Who's getting paid?
Yeah. I want to see where's this guy friend at.
Is he getting Eiffel Tower?
So I grab my food or whatever, and I try to like casually walk by. I'm like, I wonder if anybody comes up and talks to them. And sure enough, skinny white boy comes up to them. I'm like, you're the guy.
You got bought tonight.
I was dying, and I wanted to tell my friends so bad, but then I would have to explain the entire dynamic of the conversation that I was eavesdropping on.
Yeah.
And like, so the way I can describe, one of them was a very small, petite maid, probably like 5'4", and the other girl was bigger than, she was probably like 5'9", 5'10", and she was a heavyset girl. And she was the girl who was like, "Are we pegging my friend tonight?" And I'm just like, well, I put 2 and 2 together, and then my imagination went 100 miles an hour. And I was like, holy shit.
Fully rendered.
It was like, oh my God, it's you and you and you. Oh my God. It was so bad. But I love people watching, man. It's stuff like that you would think is rare, but it's like walking by, you see and hear the
especially
funniest and
at anime
craziest
conventions,
things.
like the conversations that
God.
happened there. Like at one point, because
They're gold.
the 2 scenes that I got hella into were scenes where the outcasts had a community.
Yes.
You know, like raving was like, when I was in high school, ravers were like weird, apparently.
Yeah.
And like people into anime were weird. And so this is like a whole community
Of
these
outcasts,
people.
of misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so strange now that that's like the norm. So raving became the biggest scene ever. Like it's honestly bigger than most of the con scenes.
Yeah.
And then anime is so mainstream now that you watch it on like any streaming service you can find.
Yeah, and surprisingly, a lot of people watch some kind of anime.
And they're just like, yeah, dude, it's cool. It's like whatever. I'm like, dude, if you were 17 when I was 17,
You missed out on so many good stuff.
bro, I'm like, Evangelion, you know Evangelion? They're like, no, what's that? I'm like, oh my God, bro.
missed out.
You missed out. There's a lot of good shit, but they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. So
Yeah,
good
remake.
news. But so when you decided to do your convention stuff, was it like a thing for just doing your side hustle thing, or was it just fun?
Because it was for fun. Like, so,
Because that's a big jump.
Yeah.
From first day at a con getting ditched to panels.
well, the year after that, I got my friends to go to a convention.
But tell me how that
And-
escalated.
What? Yeah, I'm getting
Okay,
there.
tell me, because I want to know this. Because that is
So, I got my more closer friends to go to their first AX because I came back like, dude, Anime Expo was so amazing. Obviously, I hyped it up, to what it really was, and I always told them
unicorns and dragons.
like AX is one of those types of events, or like anime conventions, or those types of events where you make your own fun.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a boring person, you're not gonna have any fun at an anime
that's
convention. Like you got to come in there with the mindset of like,
do what you want to do.
do what you want to do, and like just interact and just do it.
That's so true.
Because you make your own fun, and there's like a lot of people that are, and most anime people are like very imaginative, and at that time fairly open minded, and like it's the kind of place where you can walk around and just shout a meme. Back then the word meme didn't exist, but you shout a phrase that was popular online, and then suddenly like the whole hall starts.
I'll give you the
shouting
perfect
out.
one that's so old that if you're in my age group, you'll know it. If you walked into a hall and yelled back scratcher,
Yes, there'd be like 10,000 back scratchers.
and it would continue for hours.
Yeah, nerds created the memes.
Hours. Oh my God. It's so true. It's so
Yeah.
true, man.
So
I know it's a pull. I'm sorry.
no, dude, it's
It's old.
Yeah,
They were like back
we're going down
scratcher.
memory
What the-
lane right now.
Like back scratcher. Some people are like, what is he talking about? Back scratcher.
Peter Griffin.
It's all about the now. That's the meme now.
Yes.
That's the move. But
And, the hip hop scene took memes from us.
dude, oh my God. The nerd community is really good about taking something small and repeating it to the point of death.
Yes, I blame 4chan.
Yeah. But most of it is a bunch of fucking nerds who
Yeah.
are just in 4chan just making.
A bunch of like
Okay.
autistic people,
This is going to be a big jump, right? So speaking of memes, right? And one of the biggest memes that a bunch of nerds took way out of proportion, Dogecoin, right? So it's literally a meme.
Even the description in Coinbase,
It's
it's a joke.
it's a fucking meme.
And that's 70 cents now.
I thought it hit $1, didn't it?
Did it?
I
I
think
must have missed that.
I heard it hit $1.
Holy shit!
Wait.
Let's check right now.
I'll check right
Do
now.
I suddenly have a ton of money?
You really could. Let's see.
No, 70 cents.
70 cents? Okay, cool. You say that's still a lot.
It's still a ton of money.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
So to get on a tangent from your nerd and media stuff, you're also a investor in financial stuff, like in the stock market.
Yes.
Talk to me how you got into that. What was the catalyst of stock market?
Oh, because Robinhood made it so easy.
Was it Robinhood?
It was literally
You were just
Robinhood.
like,
That was like first time because I started using getting into stocks like right the year before COVID was when I first dabbled in stocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came in with like $100.
How'd it go?
Well, now I mean I look at my portfolio and I'm up like several %. So
So $100 if you several %. Okay, we'll do the math later, guys. But so you just decided to get in on it, or
Yeah.
did you? Because okay, as an entrepreneur, you have the good mindset of taking your fun hobbies and making them pay for themselves or making you profit, which is a really good mindset. And then you're like, okay, let's diversify. Is that
it wasn't even diversifying. I just literally was like dabbling in it for the fucks.
So you're just like
Yeah,
the lols.
I wanted to figure out how to be able to make money without exchanging my hours for money.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Like for me, every time I hit a financial rut, or like I hit a wall, I don't give myself any time to like dwell on the problems.
Okay.
Immediately, I start figuring out what I can do to get out of it. So,
that's good.
So, like some crazy thing happened and I need more money. So immediately I start hitting YouTube, hitting Google, reading, watching a ton of videos and learn something new. And so stocks, because right before I got into stocks was when I really got into entrepreneurship. And like a lot of the gurus I was watching, like Gary Vee, Dan Locke, and like a few other YouTubers, but those are the two that stood out most for me back then because I was like religiously watching their content. And because of that, I guess stocks kind of kept popping up in my
They were
feed.
a topic.
Yeah, and then
You're like, if
Robinhood.
these guys are doing it, maybe I should do it too.
Yeah, and Robinhood just made it look so easy. Like,
it is.
Like compared
It really
to,
is.
because I remember when my dad was looking at stocks, it was just like
The news-
charts, and just like a bunch of stuff.
So the people who used to do stocks with newspapers in front of them and like religiously look at newspapers and then having to call a guy to be like, what's the stock price on this? Okay, let me get 30 shares of that at this price. What?
Yeah.
It's changed $10? What? Let me get back to you and
Those
call
times
my.
have changed.
Oh man, dude! Now you just push a button
Yep.
on a phone and just be like, boop, boop,
You
boop.
don't even need to like keep an eye on it too. Like you set it and you walk away.
Oh, dude! Do you have an auto trader?
No, I just use limit shares or limit trades.
Dude, okay, so that's what a tool that a lot of people lately on TikTok have been blowing up. And I've been wanting to look into it more, but it's just a program, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know people do bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So is it a program that is on top of the software that you're already trading on, or is that built into the software that you're trading on?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah, me either, dude. I need to look into that. So what I've been seeing is people are doing trade parties. Have you seen that?
Trade parties?
Trade parties. So they'll all come to a house, right? They'll all bring their little tablets, phones, whatever they're using, and they'll all come in on one stock, and they'll try to catch it on a wave. And it's like an event for them.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
And
that sounds so fun.
It does.
It's like a day trade thing.
Yeah. So
but like they're gambling.
yes,
They're all gambling.
Essentially, yeah. So they'll all come to someone's house, right? And then they'll all come in on a trade, and then they'll watch it, and they're just watching the chart come up and down, and everybody's like, all right, let's go, 5 cents move, and then people will make money, and then they'll show the number on TikTok that they made like $3,000 in like 5 minutes, and then be like, oh my god, and the whole room goes crazy, which is awesome, but it's also very misleading, right?
I mean, this is what happens when gamers get into investing.
Oh, dude, that's so true.
We gamified the hell out of investing.
But it looks so fun, right?
It is though. Like compared to what I grew up thinking what investing was, to like what it is now, it is so much fun.
Yeah, it is true. Because
it's a game.
It really is. But then you're like, okay, I'm losing money.
But if you're doing bad trades.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's why you got to have a community of folks. Trading Pirates, Sunchaser Pirates. Let's go.
Yeah, so.
Quick plug.
Hey, do you want to talk about the chat that we have going on? You can if you want to.
Yeah,
man, go ahead. Tell everybody. So we got a chat going on. Go ahead, Jim. Tell everybody what's going on.
Let's say, okay, so backtracking to what you were asking about, like getting into investing. So it was when I stumbled on Graham Stephan and Andre Jick that I really like got into the idea of investing and realized that like you don't need to be old to invest.
Yeah.
And so I think in my friend circle, I was probably one of the earlier folks that like messed around with that. Yeah. And, because at that time, Andre Jick was like super pushing dividend stocks.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He's not as much of a dividend trader now, but back then he was all about dividend. And so I was like, man, I want that passive income. I want that dividend. I got to build my portfolio up to that. But like I spent like hours like researching different dividend stocks and doing the math to calculate. Most? Yeah. And then I did calculations on like how much money do I need to have in my portfolio in order to like
survive off of it for the rest of forever.
Yeah. Or even like $500 a month.
Okay. So for the people who don't know what a dividend is, right? It's when a stock pays you a yearly amount for you investing in that company. It's usually like a couple cents on the dollar. Right? Or is it like,
it
depends.
It depends. Varies. And some stocks do monthly, quarterly, biannual, and then yearly.
Yearly, right?
Yeah.
So what millionaires do, right, is that they'll buy a gang of dividend stocks that have these returns on them, and then they'll invest like $1 million, $2 million, $5 million.
Yeah.
And then they'll get like $100,000 X times a year.
I mean, $100K with the best stock I could find was paying like around $800 a month.
Jeez. So that's not bad.
Yeah. Like I did the math for that because like at that time I was looking like, okay, do I want to get into real estate? Do I want to like, what can I do to make money? And my dad was already doing real estate. So I saw all that and I learned a ton. Like going back to what I was saying about my dad, like I was blessed to be born into that family because I didn't appreciate back then, but my dad was literally like training me to be an entrepreneur,
to be successful.
Yeah, without me even realizing. Like he took me to like all his like house purchases when he started doing his businesses and stuff. Like I learned how to do like business paperwork when I was like just like 19. Like I was already like looking at contracts for him for leases and stuff because he didn't speak English very well.
That's
so
true.
I looked over all those contracts for him.
So
and
you're
all those
passively
agreements.
learning.
Yeah, I was passively learning without even realizing it.
That's fucking awesome.
And I saw him progress to like what he has now, which is why like I can see the if you put in the work, you can get there.
See, that's really good to have because my family, not to talk shit about them, but it was like they run their own small business, but I didn't learn shit from them. I learned how to do the job. I didn't learn how to establish the business, which is a big difference. So I could see what like you having that pathway to get from point A to point B and seeing your dad do it.
Yeah.
Must have been a big advantage.
Yeah. Cause I was basically his personal assistant for like years. Like as soon as I finished high school,
slave
even
labor.
until now, I'm still like his assistant. Like, I need you to like file the DBA and all this stuff. Go to Van Nuys. I'm like, okay. Let me go there and figure this out.
That's good though. And then how did that translate into the dividend stock or your stock investment?
So I was looking at like what I could do to make passive income, and I still don't make that much money today, but I have the hunger to try and make passive income. So that's when I stumbled on those videos, and then I got into trying to do stocks and trading. Like the entire first year, like if you look at my chart for the first year, it was just like
flat.
Yeah, well, if you zoom out, it's flat, but if you get close, it's like
oh shit. that V line is no joke.
Yeah, it was just practically a straight line. Like, one month I'd be like up, and the next month I'd lose everything, and then
next month be up. Yeah. And
so then suddenly, like, with just like in video games, you fail a lot for a while you're trying to learn how to play the game, and then like it just clicks.
And then you start
doing good, and then like everything makes sense. Yeah, that's literally what stock became for me, because Robinhood just made it so simple and it just looked like a game to me.
The tool, okay, so credit to Robinhood because they simplified a lot.
Yeah.
And they made it so consumable for everybody else who isn't
The whole movement
savvy.
right now is because of Robinhood.
Yeah,
If
that
it
is
wasn't for
true.
Robinhood, the entire like stock investment movement right now would not exist.
That's true. But lately they've been kind of trash.
Yeah, they've been taking flack, but I mean, let's see. They're a tech company, and I know that they're listening to the feedback, and change takes time.
They have
so
to. So
they're probably doing something right now.
So you got into investing, you started doing your dividend trading, and then did you hit the mark for day trading it or no?
No,
Not yet. Okay.
Nowhere near that mark.
So go ahead.
I was doing the dividend in the beginning, and I was doing this strategy where like certain stocks, like AT&T, for example, they do quarterly, and if you time their dividend payout, as long as you hold the stock the day before they do their payout, you get the dividend.
Oh, so it's not like a whole. You have to
You
have.
don't have to hold it the whole time.
Really?
Yeah. So
you can just come in.
Yeah, I was coming in like right when the dip was, right before it peaks, because a lot of people do that strat too.
Buy.
So you grab it right before people start like doing the buy, and then so I get a little lower, so that when I sell, as long as it doesn't, because usually right after dividend cashes out, the stock will dip.
Yeah, it'll crash.
So because everybody that's doing that
Sells
strat
out.
is doing it too. So I would cash out right before like it hits my what I bought it at. So I was collecting my quarterly dividend plus the little profit that I got from that, and then I was also dabbling with like companies I was familiar with back then, and then just trying to swing trade and develop more strats, and then finally like my good friend Naz from like middle school. I'm still friends with him now. Yeah, I think he's
on the chat.
Yeah, on the chat.
Okay.
So he got into it, and then
What's up, Nas?
Yeah,
Shout out.
shout out, Pirate King.
Hey, what's up?
So he got into it, and then more and more of like his friends and my friends started getting into it. So then we established the chat,
Which is a good move, right?
Yeah,
Because what?
because you can't research everything.
Yeah,
There's too many industries, too many companies to research, and too much news to follow. So when you have a community of folks that are following like different things, they're just putting in like, oh, this is like a good play coming up soon, or this is a good play coming up soon, and then we're just like sharing strats,
So
and
basically,
we're just
you're
like
creating a net for information and trying to find a good tip using everybody's information. Not everybody looks at the same things, and you can't look at everything at the same time. So if someone brings up, I don't know, Dogecoin,
Yeah.
and it's like, hey guys, this could be a big thing later, and then it brings it up to the chat, then everybody can kind of take a look at it and see if they want to take that risk. But so what made you guys kind of, so do you want to like post it out there? Because you guys have a Discord now, right?
Yeah, we have a Discord now. I think it's also Trading Pirates. Let me check.
So it's on Discord. It's public, right? Or is it open? Invite only?
I think I might be open or invite only.
I think it's invite
Trade
only.
with Pirates. Yeah.
I
I mean,
think it's
I can
invite.
put the link up so that like you can join and we just approve you.
Yeah, just send, give me the link once we're done. I'll post it in the description below. If you guys want to get into some financial, this is not financial advice. This is just a community of people who like to share memes and talk about financial investment.
They just talk about their plays.
Yeah, we just talk
And it's
about
up
our
to
plays
you if
to
you wanna
make your
do
own
that
financial
play.
decisions. Yes. So, but it's a good community. There's a lot of people who are much more knowledgeable than me, and I would say, who's probably the most knowledgeable person on the chat?
I'd say at this point, because Nas has a much bigger portfolio, so now he does it much more as like a profession.
Right, he makes it a job.
Because he and I have like a similar mindset.
Right,
That's why we were good friends for as long as we have. Like all the new avenues and explorative things that we got into business wise.
Very similar.
It was very similar, and we're always like exchanging ideas and talking to each other. And like, I would consider him somebody like, it's a good idea to form a mastermind group if you're trying to get into business or like become successful. And a mastermind group, I don't know if you're familiar with this term, but it's basically like a collective of people with like the same goals of like building
Same
wealth.
mindset.
Yeah, same mindset. So you're driving each other, motivating each other, exchanging strategies and ideas. and you're helping each other like with different investment avenues. Like if somebody's like, oh, there's like a real estate opportunity here, so like let's all go into it, or like, you know, if you want to invest into this, you can, and like that, and that's like pretty much what like having a good mastermind group is.
Right.
And sometimes like some groups are like they're more focused on like an industry, so everybody has like a different company in that industry, so that they can help each other grow faster.
Right. So basically, we're doing what the Armenians are doing, but we're not all Armenian.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the move. So yeah,
And-
Jen, I got you.
And in gamer lingo, it's basically a guild or a clan.
So we're basically the pirate clan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The pirate guild or whatever you want to go with. So that's what you know, when we first did the chat, that was like the idea, like, hey man, like this is so much like a game, and my friend and I always gamified RL.
Everything. Right.
Real life is like a game.
It is.
It's an
It
RPG,
really is.
and if your life is sucking, then you spec into the wrong skills.
That is one.
It's never too late to respec.
That is such a good way to put that. Yeah. Hey guys, if your life is sucking, just respec your character, guys. Come on.
Yeah, because it's your life, your body, your mind, and you can change it however you want.
That's so true.
You're only limited by what you decide as your limits are.
Yeah. You know what? That's a really good way to put it, because there's a lot of people who want to do something, but like, let's say gamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be a gamer and you want gaming to be your life, but you don't know the means to make it pay for itself, right? So most people go, I really love gaming, but it's not a job. But nowadays it is a job. It is.
I've taken so many of my skills that I developed while I was a gamer and transcribed it to entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is essentially you're playing an MMORPG. Yeah, and that's all it is. You're literally playing an MMORPG. The GMs is the federal government. So like that's why I made that mention about like, oh, Biden's releasing the new patch notes. You guys check it out.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Like because I view life as literally a video game, and there's some folks that stay in the starting zone grinding off of boars for their entire life, and then there's folks that like you see who's got the epic gear
and you
want to get to end game content.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out how to build your character to get to end game content.
That's so true. A lot of people don't get that reference because it.
So if you're a gamer, you're ahead of the curve. You just need to like
Apply those
retrain your
skills.
brain to apply everything that you do in those MMOs into real life.
So this I had okay. So I'm on a bunch of meme pages, and someone posted deep thought memes, right? Someone said, what would you do if you die and then someone reaches and pulls off the VR goggles and says, how was it? That's basically what you just explained.
I mean, it's like that episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you want to live a mundane life. Do you want to be an NPC?
No.
Or you want to be the hero character?
Hell yes.
All right.
Yes. That is the hero character all the way. I always want to be main character power.
Right? Like set your goals really high, and then figure out how other high tier character players got there.
Yeah.
Which is why like I follow like all the super successful people, and like I look at their strats and plans and stuff, and then I analyze it and figure out how to get there. Just like when you play video games, if you see like gamers do a shit ton of research from other pro gamers.
Yes.
Apply that same skills to real life, and you're gonna wreck.
This is true. Dude, the amount of effort that goes into, I don't know, what, doing a backflip and shooting an arrow like in Zelda.
Right?
People go ape shit and they will spend hours, hundreds of hours trying to do something like that. If they could just take that same effort and apply it to the business or try to get their gaming into making them money, I really hope that someone watches this and it flips a switch for them and they're like, oh my God.
Like because I played a lot of WoW too. I was like super addicted to WoW, and like that was like one of the things that like when you realize that RL is literally an MMO, and a lot like all those skills that you develop, but not like the skills like in the like playing the game, but like the habits that you developed, like the addiction, the drive to get to where you need to do, and then like the drive to do research. That pushes you for learning those things.
Yeah, if you can
get
take
there.
that energy and put it towards moving forward, I think a lot of gamers would be in a lot of better places. But so you did this side hustle for investing. You took your gamified knowledge and you did the investment thing and you started up this group chat.
Yeah, so we started a guild, and so like we hit like 20 something members in the chat. Yeah. And that's when like the chat got too crazy to follow.
Yeah.
So at that time I was barely getting to Discord, and I was like, oh my God, like we need to move everybody into Discord, because our Discord channel, we have like every category of investment. Yeah. We have a subsection or a sub channel for all that. So we have like you're a day trader, your swing traders, news, crypto, real estate, side hustle, memes. So then that way, like if there's like a thing that you want to focus more on, you can just like add the notification there, and then you just check it, and it's just all separated so that you know, conversations aren't getting like flooded out.
What's crazy is that Discord used to just be for gamers. Now it's for everybody. It's like if you have a thing that you want to have a conversation for, there's probably a Discord for it now. So for what are the goals for the group chat? Because I'm in it, guys. If you guys didn't know, I'm in the chat. Hey.
So I had the discussion with Nas, because for a period he was a little shy about sharing all his knowledge with the group. Right. But then I told him, like, bro, share everything, because we want to be surrounded by as many wealthy people as possible. And if you're the one to help them get that wealthy, then when you say like, hey,
when you need
need to like invest into this thing, we need to buy this, they're more open to like, yeah, you're right, because you have a track record of making me a ton of money, so I'm probably gonna listen to you.
That's true.
So yeah, that's why he shared. We started sharing all of our strategies and plans. He shared his spreadsheets with the group for free. Yeah. So then that way, like, we can get as many people as possible, like, having a lot of wealth. And our goal is, like, I think by the end of next year, have a combined net worth of our like group of like over $1 million.
Well, I will only be contributing a small portion of that, sir, because I am getting there.
Yeah, the same. I mean, my portion is nowhere near some of the bigger fishes that we have in our group.
So,
because some of the folks in our group are like doing swings of like 30K, 50K.
I saw. It's impressive, man. I really want to get there, right? So you have a different lifestyle than I do. Like, I am I want to say a bot character right now. I am literally grinding boars like no tomorrow. But I do have talents that I pick up that I don't seem to monetize like you do. I just learn them, master them, and then go, meh, on to the next one.
I mean, if you never like finish your skill tree.
I know, right? It's just like, well,
it's like you're learning a bunch of level 1 skills, but you never max any of them out.
I was just like, literally, I can edit, I can tattoo, I know how to be a glacier. I'm a mechanic. I run a podcast. I run a YouTube. I know how to do photography. I basically am you 5 years ago.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're hit the nail right on the head, because 5 years ago I was very generalized too. Like, remember, like I told you, like out of high school, like I had like a ton of different like skills. I don't like hone them as much as I used to, but I still use them occasionally. But then, like, over time, you realize like what you're really good at, and what you actually enjoy doing most. And so I just went full force into that skill, and then all the other skills are supporting skills for that skill.
Oh, that makes sense.
So like I'm now more leaning towards like project management, business developer type.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of all the different skills that I picked up along the way.
So what are you leaning more towards? Investment in properties? Is that what you're talking about? Project managing? Like
no. Project management meaning like in my entrepreneurial lifestyle, I focus more on like the type of work that is managing a project, like at the company that we have. I oversee like different projects and stuff that are going on.
So you're basically, hey, and, like, we need budgets
and figuring out how the business makes more, how to make more money in the business, and creating strategies.
So you're no longer the director who filming the shot. You're the guy who's telling the director, hey, we need to handle this area, this location.
I'm more like a producer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I was doing producer work for a bit too. So I moved those skills over.
So is that what you're focusing on now?
And that's going to be my ride or die skill.
That, man, I wish I could have that much confidence to be like, this is the one. This is it right here.
Because like at a certain point, you realize if you look back and think back everything that you've ever done, like, do you ever take a moment to reflect on all the projects you ever got involved with, all the different things that you've ever done, and then you kind of like reflect on it and decide and realize like, hey, in all these things that I've done, these were like the things that I actually enjoyed more and focused more, and then realize, and then that's the realization that was where my main skill sets were, and then I just started focusing on that more.
Yeah, I think it was when I realized I'm like, my only God-given talent was art, and I am not going to invest all of my time, because I did that whole analysis on ROI.
Yeah.
On being a starving artist again. I'm like, that's why I developed all these skills. This is the saddest reason. So I developed all these skills, so if I ever become homeless, I can always fall back on one of those skills and have a job. That's horrible to say, but it's so true.
That's literally why I have like secondary specs.
So it's sort of like, hey, if shit ever hits the fan, I have A, B, C, and D to fall back on. And then I did that. I was like, you know what? I was like, I can't be a starving artist again to sell people my art and hope that they buy it.
I mean, that's a lot more doable these days with
nowadays,
technology.
yeah.
Like Patreon, NFTs.
Oh, dude, NFTs are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I did that whole assessment, and I was like, you know what? What besides my art skill, what am I good at? Well, I have an amazing personality.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm selling you guys.
Exactly. It's like eventually you find like the main thing that you like and that you're good at, and then you just start focusing on that. And I can see like you invested everything into what you realize is your primary skills, because like you just said, like creating this podcast, from what you're telling me, all the skills that you've accumulated, allows you to use all those skills. Yeah,
basically. So I found, I'm not gonna lie, I was on 2 different podcasts before I did my own. So I broke off from my friend's YouTube channel to do my own, because there was just too much headbutting and people having to split like, oh, your screen time or whatever. I got tired of it. And I was like, you know what? If I succeed, it's all on me. If I fail, it's all on me. So I said, you know what? Let me give this YouTube thing a try, and let me give this podcast thing a try, because I see a lot of people struggling to have topics and conversations with people that are very natural to have, at least from my point of view.
Yeah.
And when people talk about things, I hate having dumb conversations. I always want to learn something. I want to learn, even if it's something dumb, like, I don't know, do strippers enjoy having dudes' dicks come out when they're doing a lap dance? Like, it could be something so dumb, even though I know what I think, but if a stripper tells me, now I know for sure.
Yeah.
So it's having these conversations with people and having these interactions that I always feel like I come off learning something that is either stuff that I'll just throw away and never think about again, or stuff that it will improve. Like when I started talking to you, I was like, this guy is what I want to be, because he actually knows things that I'm trying to look up on YouTube. So if he already has that mindset and that I keep putting off, right? Like I keep putting off investing and I keep putting off doing these other things. Let me ask him these questions and let me ask him these ideas that I have and see what happens when I bounce them off of him. And that's what I'm doing with everybody on the podcast. So with my friend Irvin, it was, his niche is magic. He
like doing magic or Magic the Gathering?
Oh, Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's not a magician, guys. he likes playing Magic the Gathering, but he's so good at it that he's gotten sponsored by Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And to other people, to be sponsored by the thing that you're good at means that you're good at the thing, right? So I learned from him to be a better Magic player.
Yeah.
Right. My friend was a writer, the one that I had on previously. I learned from her that writing a story can be not just a linear line. It can be like a divergent story. And as long as you're a good writer and you plan things, you can all bring it back. And it's a great story.
By the way, I just got deja vu.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. That means we're on the right track.
Yes.
We're on the right track.
That's what I believe. Like whenever you get deja vu, it's like when you dream, because I have a philosophy about how like the universe works, which is like time is simultaneous.
The ether.
And when you sleep and you access your third eye, it allows you to view any time
all at the same time.
All at the same time. So,
dude, I had that exact same thought. That's so fucking weird, bro. All right, so mine is a little different. I call it the ether. I could be totally wrong. There's a scientist somewhere who's probably be like, that's not what that is. So my whole thing is, it could be like a multiverse theory, but so if you're living a different life, right, all at the same time with different options and different things, at some point in time, they come together, right, with similar choices and actions and consequences. I feel that when both those circumstances overlap, that's when you're deja vuing, right? That's my personal thing. I could be totally fucking wrong, right? So like, if once you have that deja vu, that means you're converging into a direction.
Oh man, I think you were able to fill that piece of gap that I had in my theory of how the universe works.
Right? You're just like, it clicks. Holy shit. Clicks. We just solved the mystery of multiverse.
Because like I have the whole almost like butterfly effect. Like every decision, every time you're given a decision, you always have to pick one or the other.
Right.
And regardless of your decision, a version of you is living the other decision.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and it goes infinitely.
Yes.
So,
but when there's divergence, there's convergence, right?
Yes.
So in my theory is that in all of these different possibilities and different universes, when you're having different lives, when you make certain decisions that bump other universes in the same convergence, that means that you're having a bigger probability of having to go in that direction. Yeah. So you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Right? Or at least in the thing that you're supposed to be doing, because one decision is always converging them, but the other ones are diverging. So my whole theory is that if you are going in the right way, you'll have deja vu. And
pretty often.
Yes. The more you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, the more deja vu you have.
I have definitely noticed that.
Yeah, it's weird,
when
right?
I'm doing something really stupid and mundane, I never get deja vu. Like I go through ruts and stuff too. You know, it's not like even right now I could say that I'm in a way burning out a little bit with all the work that I'm doing. So and when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't see deja vus.
It's weird, right?
Like destiny.
All right, so I had a specific moment when I had the podcast idea, right? I did my friend's podcast and I was like, I wonder if I could do this. And then as I'm having that thought, I had a deja vu moment where I was doing a podcast and I was like, wait a second, did I already do a podcast before? I was like, wait a second, what the fuck? I was like, okay, that's strange. Maybe I should do a podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, fuck it. And then later on down the road, I did another one. I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, who wants to have, maybe I'm good at podcasts. Maybe I'm good at talking. Maybe it's my ADHD. I don't know.
You know, people that think ADHD is a curse, I think it's the opposite.
Well,
there's so many things that I feel if I didn't have ADHD, I would not be able to do. One thing is like be able to try things. Like when you have ADD, like you're doing something that's boring, you're gonna jump to something else.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I was doing that a ton throughout my life. That's why I have a verse kit of things that I know.
Yeah.
And my knowledge is so versed. And I think if you use your ADHD right and you give yourself that hunger to learn, like entrepreneurship is all about like willing to like never stop learning. If you never stop learning, then you'll always be able to problem solve and develop your skills further and develop your businesses or your ventures and your investments and prospects. So ADD allows me to like jump into like a knowledge or into like a thing that I need to learn. And I do it in bursts. Like I'll go in at it for like a month and a half, sometimes 3 months. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I got all the information I need. Switch, move to the next thing.
Yeah. I do the exact same fucking thing. And sometimes I get a little jealous of regular people when they're just like, they can do it and then like do other things at the same time. I'm like,
what? ADD is what allows you to do other things at the same time.
No, not on that scale. That's when you're functional.
No, functional ADHD.
Functional ADHD is completely different.
I have functional ADD.
Mine is like I'll do multiple things, and then on some other instances, like I have to shut off everything, and I'm like one thing, one thing and all. That's it. That's all I'm doing, and then I'll hyper learn something for like you said, like a month straight. And then I'm like, okay, cool. That's all I need to know for now.
No, but see that you have functional ADD then, because that's what I do. Like
maybe.
Yeah, because you gotta when you're doing your dive.
Yeah.
Like your endorphins are like coming from like what you're learning. Because I believe my friend did a research on this where if you have ADD, it's triggered, like the things that you're doing. You can focus technically, okay? But you need to enjoy what you're focusing on in order to stay focused.
Yeah, because if
the moment there's no endorphins coming out of that, you're just going to switch it off and move to something else.
It's a fucking train wreck, yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed that so I needed to pick up like small life lessons in like weird places. Like one of the ones... I have a Spanish teacher who failed me twice in Spanish. I'm Mexican. I speak Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Sí, hablo español. She failed me twice, right? We didn't like each other. I learned one of the most valuable life lessons from her, right? It's slowly because I'm in a hurry. And she said that to me once and it stuck like fucking glue. I don't know why, but it did. And I still hear her fucking voice and it pisses me off. It irritates me, but it's these weird life lessons that if you have ADHD, if you slowly learn these small, teeny tiny habits, that it makes your life more manageable. And like you said, once you become functional, it's an advantage, right? But there's a lot of people who aren't functional. So, do you set like 30 alarms or is that just me?
In the morning?
Yeah.
No.
Do you set alarms for work? Like when you're going like, okay, I'm hyper focused on this. I need to be done.
I need to do that because I noticed when I did that, I was much more productive.
Yeah, because if not, then you'll run over time, and then you're like,
and it's not even just that too. Like at my work, because we're short staff, definitely short staff, and I'm trying to do so many projects at the same time. So
are you hiring, bro? Because we can plug you right here, right now.
We are hiring.
What positions are you hiring for?
We're hiring somebody to be in the machine shop.
Machine shop.
Yeah, you don't need experience. You just need to be hardworking and willing to work with your hands.
Okay.
And then I am also looking for a office assistant.
Office assistant. Okay, cool. If you guys want to reach out to him, he'll leave all his cool fun links in the description below. But yeah, man, like having functional ADHD is a gift and a curse. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's definitely something that I feel so I have ADHD, right? That I feel like I should have medication for because I'm always constantly moving and fidgeting. I can't help it.
I've been bouncing around this whole time.
You've
been sitting way more still than me. I've been watching like, man, I'm feeling all insecure. Like I keep moving back and forth.
It's so bad, especially when you know you're on camera and you're like, okay, don't pick your nose and like all that fun stuff. I probably
scratched my face like 20 times this whole podcast.
We'll count it later. But once you get it to I lost my train of thought. See, God damn it. Where was I going with that? Anyways,
your Spanish teacher was.
No, I don't think that's where I was going with that.
Functional ADHD.
No, it's gone.
Oh. My bad. I should not interrupted you.
It's okay, bro. Like I said, my brain's like all over the place sometimes.
Yeah.
But I did want to mention, so you're a nerd, a gamer, entrepreneur, an investor in stock market and in real estate.
No, not real estate yet.
And not real estate?
No.
I thought you guys bought a house.
Well, I mean, our family buys.
I thought it was
houses, you, but not me myself yet.
But you're looking into real estate.
I am looking into real estate, and I do have a friend. If any of you guys are over in Nashville or Tennessee, I have a really good friend over there that does real estate. His name is Robert Bean. You can find him. I guess we'll give you a plug for that too.
We'll drop all the links in the description below.
He's also like entrepreneurial mindset, and he's over there like I think this year he's coming close to hitting $1 million in sales.
Nice.
Yeah. So I believe, or in
revenue,
like revenue for himself.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's we're definitely getting close to hitting our goal.
Yeah.
Sun Chaser Pirates.
It's literally like 3 people who are taking up that whole goal. I am like the 1.03% of
Hey, like there's a reason why only 1% of the country are like crazy rich.
Yeah. Man, okay. So I'll be honest with you. So this isn't my get rich quick scheme. This podcast isn't it. This is me doing what I like and hoping that my hard work pays off. I'm gonna keep doing this until...
No, you can't hope, bro. You just got to do it and like figure out how to make it work.
Yeah. So as soon as like the ball like slowly starts picking up steam, right? We're gonna start making big things happen. But the plan is to reduce, because I have a day job. Everybody's got a day job. You got a day job. I got a day job. But some people's day job is different, right? Because your friend does real estate and he enjoys it and it makes him a lot of money.
Yeah.
I work for a company and I'm an engineer, right? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of doing the whole trading my time for money.
Mm-hmm.
I value my time more than people are willing to pay me. So I'm going to do everything I can to take the money that they give me to reinvest it into things that are going to make me more money. So my next step after this is, at least for this podcast, is try to find some sponsors, right? Get some people to come on board who are open-minded and hopefully nerd-centric, right? To appeal to the audience because no offense to any normie who watches this, but I try not to focus or cater to regular people because regular people have everything else. Let me have this small group of people. This is the small group of people who I care for. You know, the people who took care of me were nerds when I was growing up. So I don't feel like I need to cater to normies. But if you watch the show, I still love you anyways. So
hear that? Sponsor him.
Yeah, sponsor me. Anybody. I don't care who. Like literally right now. I don't care. But that's the next move, right? Get some sponsors, get some people to come on, you know, and I want to keep bringing on interesting people like yourself. And maybe I'll reach out to the people in our a group chat to see if they want to spread some knowledge on their specific skill set that they have. And
you might have to do remotely because...
some people are far.
Yeah, they're not even in the state.
I'll figure that out. Well, all that stuff's going to get worked out as I'm
I can show
going.
you how to do that because I got into like...
Oh, yeah, I saw your setup. Yeah. Are you still doing the live streams?
No. Well, I want to do it for personal stuff, but because of our business picking up so much, like I can't...
Can you tell me about that? Like what's going on with you guys? Like went from like 0 to like full blown 100% full steam.
Yeah, sure. But before I get into that discussion,
okay.
I want to backtrack to when you mentioned that like needing 30 alarms to wake up.
Uh-huh.
So a while back, I had this client that wanted to. They're one of the wealthier folks. I would consider their family like a 1%er.
Uh-huh.
And their thing was trying to develop a business to help prolong life, because when you're wealthy, like a lot of your thing is you want to live longer. Yeah. So,
I knew it. God damn.
So there's this thing.
Is it an organ transplant?
No, actually it's not. Because there are cities all over the world. I think there was like 5 of them or 7 of them.
Uh-huh.
They're called it's called Blue something. If you guys want to Google it, just look up like cities with like the people that live the longest and happiest. It will correlate. So one of the things that was on that list of cities was like a city in Japan, and their philosophy for living longer is have a reason to wake up every morning. Because you mentioned earlier that like when you knew about Quake being available at your school,
right,
you woke up hella fucking early on your own, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably goes the same with all you guys. Like when you have something that you really want to wake up for, you don't even need the alarm.
Yeah,
you'll wake up by yourself.
You won't go to sleep.
So like so it's finding
the motivation,
that thing that triggers you to wake up every morning is your fight against the need to have 30 alarms. Because if you love what you do every day and you have a reason to wake up every morning, you're not gonna like
need an alarm.
Yeah.
So is the business structure to focus on an individual and give them a reason to be motivated? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and you'll find more happiness when you have a reason to wake up. That's why I never understood people that like
don't have motivation.
No, not even just don't have motivation, but like if the hardest thing they do in their day is getting out of bed, then like your life must be like, no offense to any of y'all that might have this problem, but like your life might not be the happiest.
Oh, dude, I was there. Trust me.
You know? Like if you find the most joy sleeping versus living life, then you got to change your life.
Yeah. So a lot of people are living that rat race, right? Just an endless grind, and they're just trying to survive. I get it. I was there, and I was there on the highest level. Like my teeth cracked from the stress of my job, right? Because I was grinding my teeth at night. And I would honestly look forward to just going to sleep, because it was the only time that like my cortisol levels would actually drop during the fucking day. It was so bad. So for some of you who may or may not know, I used to be armed transport. So I worked for a company that transports money from point A to point B. And I had to risk my life for other people's money on a daily basis. Yeah. And it's equivalent to only like police officers and correctional officers. But I've even had police officers tell me, man, I wouldn't even do your job. Fuck that.
No, it sounds stressful.
Okay. So I've had people spit on me. I've had people like try to yank the money from my hands as I'm holding it. I've had people try to kill me, like people pull guns and all this fun stuff. Luckily, I've never been in a situation where I had to shoot anybody, but I definitely was in situations where like my life was in danger for like, I don't know, like fucking $30,000. I'm like, maybe to me that shit doesn't seem like a lot, but to somebody else, it's a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And people are living these rat races where they go to dead-end jobs and they can't find a way out because they don't. One, it's not that they don't know how; it's just they don't know where to get started. Because I feel like
learn more stuff.
I feel like once you get started trying to find the way out, you won't stop.
Yeah.
Because some people just go, you know what, fuck it, I'll work at Walmart, and then you go Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you go relax, and then you do it over and over and over. And then next thing you know, 5 years are gone. And then you're 25, 26, 30, 35. And one day someone wakes up and they're the Walmart greeter. And they're like, huh.
How did I end up here?
Exactly. And that's why I want to bring people on the podcast who have specific niches. Like my friend's a writer, my friend's doing the magic thing. You're an entrepreneur, but you guys all have one thing in common. You guys are all not regular people.
We got to be kind of eccentric if you want to live your life the way you want to live it.
Yes. Like I want people to be able to go, hey, if that guy can do it, I can do that. If magic is your thing, I just brought you a guy who knows how to get to magic and do your thing. If someone wants to be an entrepreneur, cool, I got you. People can look at you and they can reach out to you. Hopefully they can bring you some business and ask you questions, maybe join the chat and be like, hey man, how do I get invested? Like start investing.
I'm always open to share the knowledge that I have in the strats. Like I don't ever plan on putting it behind some kind of paywall, because I want to, like, I have a saying whenever I like say bye to certain people, and it's meet you at the top.
Right. Yeah. You have said this to me before. And I appreciate it.
I want everybody to be at the top, and I want to be able to, when I'm there, see them.
Right.
There.
Yes. Yeah. Be like, hey man, you're a baller too. Well, so am I. Maybe not as much, but you know, I can ball.
Expensive is relative.
This is true. Everybody's fake rich people. Have you seen this? They're like fucking Supreme from head to toe Jordans, and then they have like $2 in their bank account.
Yeah, it makes me cringe.
Oh, God.
We do so much with that.
And I try to. I also isn't it kind of hard to try to talk to someone to be like, hey man, maybe don't buy every color Jordan, and maybe buy a car.
I learned over the years to not get involved in that conversation.
It's hard
because Just like with you, when you hit me up because you wanted to start all this up.
Yeah.
If somebody wants it, they'll ask you.
This is
You can't force knowledge on anybody. Nobody likes being told what to do. But when they come to you like wanting it, they're more receptive to it. I spent a long time doing that with a lot of people.
That just
and over time, I realized like I was wasting my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of them, like, it wasn't going anywhere. So
you want to save your friend, because most of them are your friends, you know?
Exactly.
And you're just like, okay, bro, like, look, I don't want to tell you how to spend your money, but if you want more of it, maybe think about not using it all.
Yeah.
What else can you tell them? Like, I have a couple friends who I tell them, like, hey, man. And they always, okay, this is a legit story. So I could have been a millionaire. I hate to start.
We all have one of those stories.
Oh, man. It's happened to me multiple times. And I've learned over the years, follow your gut. No matter what other person tells you, right? Even if it's another financial, even if they're wealthy, if they know what the fuck they're doing, if it's a gut feeling, follow it, right?
Yeah.
So I got super baked, right? Super high. And I went down a YouTube rabbit hole, and it was about how China is slowly creeping up and like taking over the world. And I'm just like, oh man, I love this conspiracy shit.
Well, it's not like a conspiracy.
Well, I know it's true, right? It's like,
fact.
it's a fact. But back then, like 2008, 2009,
it was conspiracy.
It was whispers and rumbles of like tinfoil hats. It was hilarious to me. And now it's like all true. But back when this was happening and I was like really young, I started hearing about the plot by the 1% to replace currency. And I was like, what? How is that even possible? That is
Bitcoin.
Right? So it went down. It's crazy that YouTube has this stuff, because I don't even know if it's there anymore. Like, these people post the craziest things and no one knows, right? You can either listen to them or not. So me being high, I went to the next video and then the next video. And then 6 hours in, I find out that Bitcoin was a whisper of a rumor, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. So I looked up how to buy it, right? And it's a sketchy ass website. And you're like, okay, so this guy in Japan makes this fake currency.
Satori.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be an untraceable, super secure.
Yeah, completely decentralized.
Yeah, super currency? Huh, how would this work? And then I started thinking about it. In every sci-fi movie ever made, the way they pay for stuff is credits.
Credits. Yes.
And then it clicked. And I had a fucking moment. I was like, oh, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah.
What if this takes off? If this takes off, this will be awesome. So
that's why I support it.
Right. So me being broke at the time, because at the time I was basically almost homeless. I was like, I just got kicked out of my parents' house. That's why I was smoking a ton of weed. So I was like, So I tell this to my friends. I'm like, hey guys, so I found out about this thing, right? It's supposed to be like this money. We should probably just buy one. They're super cheap. They're like $50 for one. And they're like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Buy money? Who buys money?
Yeah. So
it's digital.
Okay.
You mean it's not real money?
So me trying to redigest the entire thesis of Bitcoin into 5 minutes to somebody else who didn't even give a fuck.
Yeah, because you went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You understood what you learned.
Yeah, so me trying to reiterate what I digested was the worst fucking explanation of Bitcoin ever. And I kept telling them, like, dude, fucking this crazy recession, buy gold and Bitcoin. And I never bought any. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. I'm like, maybe I was just super stoned. Fast forward like 10 years. Bitcoin is at like 50 G a pop.
Yeah, it hit 60 not too long ago.
Oh my God.
It's on its way to 100.
Oh my God. It's so bad. But I tried to tell this to my friends. If I would have taken my own advice, like a fucking smart person would, I would probably be doing this podcast from a mansion. Right?
Let that be a lesson to y'all.
Yes. So Dogecoin.
Yeah.
want to go
I
there?
can't even.
Do you want to go there?
It's a meme. They produce like, was it 10,000 Dogecoin every minute or every hour? There's literally like
an endless
supply. The only reason why it's high right now is because of the hype. It doesn't have real sustaining value. It runs off the same algorithm as
the same
Bitcoin.
Blockchain.
Yeah, the same blockchain.
Yeah.
So
it's such a bad investment, but it's such a fucking train.
But it's a meme, and I love it.
It's like one of those things that you like financial professionals are like, what the fuck are you doing? And there's a fucking Chad somewhere wearing some glasses like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire. More Doge.
Like, you don't even know how many people hit me up about like, oh, I want to buy Doge. I want to buy Doge. I'm like, no, you don't want to buy Doge. You missed it. You missed the train.
Yeah.
You missed the train.
You should have bought like 100,000 shares at like once.
This is a meme, and I don't know much longer this meme is gonna be hyped for, but the moment this meme
$2.
dies for more than like a month,
I'm gonna go ahead on a limb here with my years of financial experience.
he's calling it now, boys.
$2.
$2?
$2.
I think 10.
You think 10?
Yeah.
I'm saying $2.
I think he can hit $10.
I think 2.
I'm hoping he hit $10.
I've
You know, when I first bought into Doge, I put in $100 when it was like 0.00018.
So you got like 100,000 shares.
Or like, no, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe I was one decimal off. But
so like 10,000 shares.
I basically had like 12,000 shares.
Nice.
Okay. When it was less than a penny.
Don't tell me you sold.
Like an idiot.
Oh, damn
because
it,
I was like,
Jin.
this is not going anywhere.
Damn it.
I sold it when it hit 18 cents. And it was one of those things where, like, when I first bought it, I told myself that I would just not think about it until it hits $10. That's a lesson to y'all. If you're doing stocks, there's a reason why you have a trade journal. You note down the reason that you bought that originally and at what point you are going to sell it.
Yes.
And then anytime you're about to like prematurely sell something,
you look at that
back
journal
to remind yourself why. Because
so let's clear it up for the people who are like fucking confused, right? So yes, this Dogecoin thing is a hype train. It has almost as much value as any other crypto that's just popping up.
Yeah, like no-name cryptos that aren't doing anything.
Yes. So the only difference is that it's a meme.
Yeah, it was built around a meme. It is
legitimately like a joke.
Around like 2008 or 7.
I think it was a little bit
Doge,
later.
Like it was
like 2010.
It was. Oh yeah, maybe 2010 because I was still working at the high school. Where like the meme of that Doge came out, and I was like, much wow.
Yeah,
like,
it was like 2010.
That's when Dogecoin came to be.
Yes,
and that period where it came out, it was supposed to be like used as like a fun currency that wasn't taken seriously. That was there to like do good. Like one thing that they did was like they sponsored the Jamaican bobsled team or something like that. They sponsored a NASCAR. They were doing goofy stuff.
Right.
And then now Yonko Elon Musk comes out and just like rides this hype.
Okay, so I'm going to set a goal, right? My goal is to one day, maybe, hopefully, have Elon Musk on this podcast. That would be awesome.
That would be lit.
If I could
Can I be there for that?
Yes, you could be there for that. Just remember, because if I ever get there and I'm like, hey guys, Elon Musk.
Once he gets there.
Yeah, when I get there.
I've seen some podcasts that they need like at least like 100K, and then you invite him, he'll probably show up.
Hey man, I'll bug him. Like I'll bug him now in the middle and then there. And
I mean, he's a nerd. Like anime weeb nerd, and so like if you're catering to,
I really hope.
him.
I hope that the small wave that I'm making now turns into a tidal wave like 5 years from now, and Elon just hits his Twitter feed like, hey, come on Asylum TV. We'll talk about all the waifus you want. We don't even got to talk about Tesla. We could just talk about anime.
Goofy shit.
Yes. Well, I'll give you all the weed you want. Like, it doesn't matter. Whiskey, you want it? You got it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just be on the podcast. Let's talk about weeb shit. Because I feel like he is the epitome of the nerd who made it.
Yes.
And all the normies are like, oh, he's so strange, but all the nerds are like, he's so normal.
He's so normal. And if you watch One Piece, our we call ourselves like the pirates.
Because
the
One Piece.
epitome of pirates is true freedom.
Yes.
Like you're living your own life the way you want to live. And we call Elon Musk a Yonko, and his conkers hockey is so overpowered that he can tweet something and like it'll affect an entire market.
Oh, dude,
that is the power of a true Yonko.
Dude, people hate when he tweets. Like they're like, oh god. Like there's like millionaires and billionaires that are like, oh my god, this dude had better not tweet anything fucking stupid about my company or Dogecoin or Bitcoin or whatever. Because I know he's done that before, right?
Like he does it now.
Like he does it all the fucking time. Like he doesn't even have to make context. Yeah, it's just a word.
The most obscure stuff.
And people will read into it, which I'm assuming is what he means.
Yeah.
Like
he knows his market. He knows his audience.
He does. I love that guy. That dude's fucking awesome. But to get off of all of that, we're hitting the 2.5 hour mark. Wow. And yeah, I know, right? We
only started.
I know,
There's
right?
So much more.
Well, I'll have you back on, dude. I'll have you back on. But let everybody know where they can reach you and where they can find you.
All right. So you can reach me on Ginn Nao. I'm Ginn Nao on everything. All my social medias is Ginn Nao, GINN, usually _.NAO.
Awesome.
So, and it's like the same logo if you saw it when he pulled up Facebook on everything. Yeah. And then if you guys are looking for film equipment, primarily grip stuff, then you can hit up Norm's Studio.
Okay.
Which is my family's business. I'm there running the show with my brother and my dad. And also, if you guys want to support our channel, we live what we preach.
Yes,
and
this is true.
Sun Chaser World. That's our YouTube channel, where essentially it's just showing the world like we're just doing stuff, and we just want to start sharing it. Because for a long time, like I know that we do epic stuff.
Yes.
And
yes.
I don't always share all of it, but like that moment, like,
really
man, this, like sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know how we ended up here, but like we're here. Now we're starting to do it, which is Sun Chaser World. And, we're all a bunch of pirate crew members that support each other. And if you want to be a part of the crew, we welcome everybody that wants to live the pirate life.
All you need is the hunger.
Yes.
That's it.
The hunger for freedom.
That's it.
Yes.
And we're all trying to find our own One Piece.
Indeed. So, even though like my friend and I are literally trying to create a One Piece,
trying to make One Piece. Oh my god, that'd be fucking sick.
Like our like my friend Naz and I, our goals are like way up here,
like stratosphere.
Yeah, like before this ends, let me let you in on my grand goal.
Oh yeah, please.
So my and my friend's grand goal is to establish our own city amusement park type situation where content creators and like new age entrepreneurs can like live at and have its own like self-sustaining economy. But the amusement park element comes in where our heavy influence from Pokemon came from.
Oh no shit.
And so we want to have like robotic animals. We're calling them Anibots. That we can like go out, do battle with each other, whether it's VR, AR, or real life. That's why if you get Elon Musk on the show, we definitely need to talk to him about that because we
might just Neuralink the whole park.
Yeah. Oh no, dude. If you when next time when you come by, I'll do a dive on that and like because all the research in different fields that I do lets me to believe that this is 100% possible. That we can do this in our lifetime. Okay, yeah, definitely save all that for next time you come on, bro, because we are getting into that later. Yeah, dude, that sounds fucking sick. Well, yeah, dude, fucking it was a pleasure having you on. I really appreciate you making this long ass drive. And for those who want to check out all this stuff, I'll leave all the links in the description below as always. And just stay hungry, people. Fucking, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Never stop learning. Right? All right, guys. Have a good night. Meet y'all at the top. Peace. Later.